Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, it looks like we are live. Welcome back to another edition of the Mining Market Signal right here on Mine Your Biz. My name is Seth, and well, you know, I'm the guy that is always here on the other side of the camera. So I say that like there's going to be somebody else on the show with me. There's not. There's me, and there's you. Just the way I like it. All right, guys, be interactive. Send those comments this way. We're not such a large channel that I have to like filter through just super chats only. So really, anybody who has a question, obviously just go ahead and ask. And you know, I want to answer to the best of my ability and also have great conversations going among the live chat participants themselves as well. If you're wondering about this t-shirt, well, we'll start with that before we get started on the show. You know what, though? I don't want to leave you hanging here. Let's do the Fear and Greed Index first. Fear and Greed Index is at a whopping 50. We went from extreme fear into fear, jumping all the way up to neutral sentiment. It is crazy. Cryptid Youth comes through in the live chat saying GPUs go brrr, like the Treasury. Exactly right. Guys, Jerome Powell, Janet Yellen, all these jokers here in the United States who are talking about sound monetary policy at the same time, printing trillions upon trillions of dollars, inflating the U.S. Monetary supply by upwards of 40% of all U.S. dollars that have ever existed. It's unreal, right? We know this is unreal. It's not sustainable. It's not something that's going to end well, for sure. So that's why we went with the thumbnail that we did tonight. The thumbnail graphic that we went for tonight was totally in, you know, is saluting them. Kevin Hawthorne, thanks for saying hello in the comments section. Great to see you, man. Thank you for spending some time with us tonight. But let me jump back out of the way here. Again, guys, a score of 50 on the Fear and Greed Index. This is unbelievable. Look at where we were just last week. Extreme fear, a score of 10. Today, 50? A 5 times improvement in the public feelings and emotions towards Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies in general. I don't know. Seems kind of weird to me. This sort of thing tends to follow price action. And as you've heard me say before, I view this as a very good counter indicator. For me, I'm kind of on mid alert. You know how like when you're in wrestling or when you're in your football, you get into that like quarter hunch or that half squat and you do your little stutter step like, all right, I'm in my ready position. Anything can happen. Anything can happen. I don't want to get juked, right? So you dig in. That's just about where I'm at right now. I'm not too worried, but I'm a little worried when I see the score go up like that, right? In a week, jumping up by 5x, I'm a little bit concerned. Those kind of precipitous moves usually mean some kind of weird awkwardness is afoot. Let's scroll down and take a look at that trend again. Yeah, see that? That is a little parabolic wall. If we were Tony Hawk and we were trying to skate off that thing, we'd go, woo! We'd catch massive air, right? We'd do like a 15 feet of air straight up. Boom! X Games action. We'd spin that board around and we'd ride right back down. We would not continue to go up forever. That's the bottom line, right, guys? What goes up often comes down. It doesn't have to come down, but it often comes right back down. So I'm a little bit worried about this. Not going to lie. People who say that they're prognosticating another short squeeze, this is what makes me, well, pretty confident in saying I'm not seeing it. But again, I mean, is this legal business or financial advice? Is this advice about how you should invest or direct your cryptos? Well, let me put it this way. No. Welcome back to the channel. All right. That's our Fear and Greed Index. Let's jump over to our TX Street view. It's so much fun. This is so much fun to see TX Street. And while I pull this over to the side, the Deadwood pops in to say hello, says, hope you're all well. Very kind, very thoughtful of you, the Deadwood. Also asks, or says, it would appear as though the Fed is purposely bankrupting the nation in debt, almost in preparation for the World Economic Forum / global banks. I wonder. They wouldn't do that, would they? Our government? They wouldn't do anything against our interest, would they? I don't think so. I don't believe you, sir. Miss me with that. I don't think that our fearless leaders would do that to us. They have my faith. They're going to do the right thing. Well, here we are on TX Street, guys, taking a look at the current price of gas on Ethereum. Looks like that was 222 Gwei on the most recent transaction. A little lower than yesterday, but still largely inflated. Looks like the median for gas price, let me draw that down just a little bit closer or pull that down just a little bit more. Median gas price, 67.5 Gwei. So the price of transacting on Ethereum, definitely higher, right? But is the price too damn high? Sorry for the language there, guys. but you know the meme. I don't think it is. As GPU miners, we love this. And that's why I went with the graphic that I did tonight as well, right? Our GPUs go burr instead of the money printer. And these fees, they translate directly into our participation in crypto mining with GPUs. What a great time to be alive. I can't wait to take a look at our profitability over on whattomine.com. But that's our gas price. Let me just take a look in US dollars. Median ETH transfer fee is almost $3, and contract fee $20.12. Stephen, hello, welcome. He says, greetings from Belgium. Like you on the BitBoy show. Hey, thank you so much, Stephen. That means so much. You'd go out of your way to say hello and check us out here live. Welcome to the channel. We're going over charts for GPU miners and talking about how you can use GPU mining to increase your profits and be involved in crypto in a way that doesn't require you to give your credentials to an exchange like, say, Coinbase or Binance or Kraken or Gemini. You can just receive crypto in that way. So if you like that sort of thing, hey, hang out, see what maybe you can pick up and learn. Here we are on TX Street, though, just checking out those prices in real world. Okay, the median contract fee has gone down just a little bit from over $20 to almost 18. Still impressive, as impressive as gas fees get, just about. And over in Bitcoin land, the mempool is moving along at a cozy 3752 transactions waiting for processing with a median fee of 45 cents, up just a little bit, but not a whole lot from before. And our median fee is 7.05 sats per VByte. So really not the worst look in the world. And they give us a little bit of spoiler right there on our Bitcoin price, just shy of $40,000. But the last block it's pretty slow. Look at that. We're not resolving our block times down to closer to the 10-minute mark where we like to have them on Bitcoin. Bummer. As I mentioned today on the Around the Blockchain show over on the BitBoy channel, if you haven't seen that, take a look over in this channel's community tab. There's a link directly to that. And I'll be doing a re-edit of the parts where I spoke and then submitting that to this channel either tonight or tomorrow, so you can just see the parts where I talk. Selfishly, this is my channel. I'm going to show you the stuff where I spoke, right? The points that I made. And spoiler alert, I won the show. I won Around the Blockchain today. Hold on a second. That didn't work. Here we go. Choirs of heavenly angels sang to accompany my win. It was glorious. All right, jumping back into our main event, what to mine. Taking a look at the profitability of our higher end cards, 3090, 2080 Ti, 1660S, and 1080 Ti. So all Team Green. Our cost basis for power, as per usual, is at 14 cents per kilowatt hour. If you're new to the show, here's why. That's the average in the United States. Hey, Crypto Bedell says, mind your biz. Congrats. I was just watching the show. Sorry if I was a spoiler. I'm so sorry. But yes, it was a GPU miner who won the show today. Haha. And if Son of a Tech goes back on, here's my prediction. He's going to win the next time too. So GPU miners, guys, we know our stuff. BitBoy and the rest of the crew there, they're quite good. But GPU miners, we understand crypto in a way that is very unique. I often say that mining is the gateway drug to crypto. And I stand by that. You have to learn so much about understanding seed phrases and key pairs and security and protection and privacy. There's so much that you have to understand about not monetary policy at large, but just understanding the shifting values in certain coins and certain currencies and hedging your bets against buying equipment versus just buying coins. There's so much that mining gives you sort of a crash course, like primer in, that, again, that's my prediction. When Son of a Tech goes back on Around the Blockchain, he's going to win. I'm not going to be the only GPU miner you see winning on that show. But thank you. I appreciate that. The win it felt good. Not going to lie, felt good. Here we are, though, at 14 cents per kilowatt hour. That is currently the median price for power in the United States. Maybe you get power a little cheaper than that. Maybe it's 8 cents where you are. Maybe you're one of the privileged few who's able to access some kind of commercial or industrial rate of only 5 cents per kilowatt hour. If that's true, if that's describes your situation. By all means, reach out to me. People want to know about that. Maybe we can help direct, as soon as you've been vetted, direct some of the viewers over to where they can get less expensive power and co-locate their machines before profits dip down again. Because eventually, in time, they will. Again, right? These things are moving cycles. But the average in the United States, 14 cents per kilowatt hour. It gets a lot worse in some places too, as you know, upwards of 23, 24, 25 cents per kilowatt hour. And also, before we go into what's in mine, sorry, I'm gonna do a little victory lap from being on around the blockchain, and I am gonna go live over to Amazon.com, and I'm gonna show you right now how you can search for mineyourbiz. It'll autocomplete because it knows our brand. It knows us that well. And right here, we got several meme shirts that are available for print and for delivery directly from Amazon with free 2-day shipping if you're an Amazon member. If you don't feel comfortable with that, if you don't like Amazon's business practices, I understand that. That's totally fine. Ideologically, I think I understand why you might feel that way. You can also find some merch and some other cool stuff on mineyour.biz directly on the website and pay for those things in cryptocurrency, preserving a bit more of your anonymity, a bit more of your privacy. And if you don't feel comfortable giving your money to Amazon, letting them take a fee, well, you don't have to let them take a fee. Just saying, it's an option if you like Amazon, if that is the way that you like to go. So, yeah, that's funny. They sell a brain booster when you search for mineyour.biz. What does it mean? Don't read into it. I don't really think it means anything at all. But here we are back on whattomine.com. Let's calculate finally our top tier team green cards. And we've got Ethereum, top of the list, 1376, up from yesterday, which is awesome. Ravencoin at just under $10, $9.40 US. Firo on the leaderboard at $9.45. So actually a little bit higher than Ravencoin, even though it's Merkle tree proofs and not a variant of Prog Pow. I'm a little bit surprised by that. I thought it would be, a little bit less profitable, but clearly something is going on with it. Firo, maybe we can validate that inside of our mining portfolio after we go over to the mining portfolio. Then Ethereum Classic for the Ethash 4G is at $8.47, so a significant dip down in profitability mining that. Zano in very, very last. If you want to fill, say, a top 5 of native coins, Zano very, very last at $7.95 every single day, with about 50% of that going directly to the 3090, the RTX 3090. Phenomenal card, very, very high performance. So, yeah, take that for what you will. Go to the value and efficiency play, the XX60 series cards. So the 3060, the 2060, the 1660, and the 1060. We're presupposing that the 1060 is minimum 6 gig card, just to make that very, very clear. We're going to take for granted that it is not the older 3 gig model, or if it's the P106 3 gig, that you've been able to find some kind of a VBIOS that allows you to do a firmware unlock of 6 gigs of VRAM on these cards. So you'll be able to mine Ethereum on these cards. We're going to just suppose. So calculating profit, and again, our averages are 7 days of profitability and then 7 days of difficulty for the revenue, because we want to mine the averages. It's a bit like dollar cost averaging, with an investment into hardware as our investment hedge. Right? That's really what we're doing. If you want to look at it in investment terms, not that this is investment advice, but if you want to just frame it that way in your minds, that's why we want to take a look at the averages. We don't want to you can't easily just sell everything you have in 24 hours, including the coins that you wanted to mine and all the GPUs that you had. That's much more difficult than it sounds, and you're going to lose all your money anyway. So top of the list is Ethereum at $6.44, Ravencoin at $5.14, Firo again in third place at $4.84, and Zano in fourth place now at $4.34 in profit. Again, Firo's popping up twice for Team Green. I'm not sure that I want to read into that too much, but that has me hopeful that it's going to be higher in our portfolio when we look at that later on. Let's take a look at not the 6800, but the 6800 XT plus the 5600 XT, and combine and then average those values with about 60% of the resulting hash rate and profit going to the 6000 series Team Red card. Now, if you're new to the channel and you haven't seen What to Mine work before, you'll notice that we just populate 1 unit of these cards, and when it is a Team Red, so to speak, card by AMD, then it highlights red when we select that that particular model. When it's a air quotes team green card, like the 3090, it highlights green. It's very simple to use, and I love it here on this channel. Hey, Sam just came through with the super chat. Sam, thank you so much. We got a hug emoji with a little heart popping out. Thank you so much for the super comment, I believe it's called. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You're the real MVP. So let us know in advance what kind of coin you'd like me to take a look at the mining pool stats of when we come up to that in just a minute here. But looking forward to that in just a minute. William says, good job on Around the Blockchain. Just sub today. Hey, William, welcome aboard. Thank you for being here. This means a lot. Appreciate that you'd be live with us. And the Deadwood says, Sam, nice. Also catching up, Stefan says, I have 4.5 kilowatt hour solar panels, but the moment I would put an Ethereum miner, I have to register as a company. Ooh, that is rough. Yeah, very, very. So it sounds like Belgium has some pretty intense restrictions and regulatory framework for anybody who wants to do mining at home. I had never heard that before. We're going to have to talk because I know there's some other areas of the EU, right? Germany is very difficult because of the cost of power, but not because of where you can set up the equipment. However, now that you mention it, the people who I know who are GPU miners in Germany, they wind up having to attach it to their companies as well. So maybe there's something in common with Germany over in Belgium, right? Or vice versa, something in common in Germany, the way that it's done in Belgium. So at any rate, that's good to know, but also really sad. Sorry about that. Noobs Gaming says, I've got a 5700 XT mining Raven, but I can't seem to get more than 14 mega hash. Oh, 14 mega hash, really? On a 5700 XT. We're going to take a look at that just a minute here. Okay, so let's take a look at Team Red again. Here we are going to get the combined. There we go. Try to speak English. Here we go. Slow down just a little bit. The combined average numbers for these two cards. Hit calculate. Check to see what our numbers are down here. Ethereum 637, Raven Coin 453, Ethereum Classic displacing Firo because clearly Team Red cards are not quite as good at Merkle tree proofs, the algorithm that's used on Firo, as they are on ProgPow. It's a little bit surprising, but apparently Firo and the Merkle tree proofs algorithm is a little bit more, I guess, core heavy and not quite balanced between the memory and the core. ProgPow, that's used in Ravencoin, is kind of a better combination between the two. We got Mark Allen in the comment section saying, hello. Well, hello, Mark. Thanks for being with us tonight. And that's our top three. Way down below that is Beam at 296 per day, and about 60% of that going to the 6000 series card. Let's go to the Radeon 7, which is a Vega core with HBM2 memory. It's a phenomenal card. Great card. Mark is saying that his 3070 Ti is making almost $7 a day. Oh my gosh, guys, give him the applause in the live chat there. That's phenomenal. Clearly he has his card very well tuned. And while I'm here, guys, again, doing the victory lap from being on Around the Blockchain today, this shirt, when I first started the channel and started talking about cryptocurrencies and such, there was a live stream where somebody said, what would be really funny is if I had a green screen behind me at the time. They said, what if you got a green shirt that also had your head on it and had your little tagline of I love your face? And that way, when you're sitting in front of a green screen, you have two floating heads on the screen. And I was like, you know what? It's so crazy. It might work. And I went ahead and did it. So that's why it's in the store now. And it's got a little signature wink and got my teeth all like photoshopped, like sparkly white. And it's just funny. Anyway, but going back over to the Radeon 7, Vega Core, HBM2 memory, let's calculate our profitability for that card. Again, this is a hero of crypto mining right now. $5.77 per day on Ethereum at the top of the stack. Ethereum Classic at $3.49 per day with Ravencoin trailing behind that at $2.54. And then Beam way farther down the line from there at 221. This is, the Radeon 7 is a phenomenal Ethereum mining card. It's not a terrific all-rounder for mining crypto. Speaking of which, hey, we got some other comments coming in from new folks. Go Crypto says, you kicked butt on Around the Blockchain today. Well, thank you. Thank you, Go Crypto. I felt good today. I kind of hit my groove. That was a fun time. But Radeon 7, phenomenal Ethereum mining card, not a phenomenal all-round crypto mining card. So when Ethereum mining profits dip or when they completely disappear, it's going to be a struggle to justify holding on to the Radeon 7. And again, I'm going to stand by what I said the other day. I think we may see that there's more of a secondary market for the Radeon 7 in the gamer space and content creator space than there is for some of the other Team Red cards, just because it's so high performance in those applications, and with the memory being so fast and the Dagger Hashimoto algorithm, or the ETH hash algorithm that's used for mining Ethereum, being so heavily dependent on that really fast memory, that it's a really good crossover to content creation and to some gaming applications where you just need to load a lot of files, a lot of scene data into memory really, really fast. And the core doesn't necessarily have to be quite as high performance. Now, that helps a lot. It definitely does for gaming, and it definitely does for content creation and OpenCL applications. But you know what else we're going to do? I'm going to throw on some music. Okay? All right. The background music, subtle. All right. But that Radeon 7, I suspect that we're going to see it come back to the market in the secondhand markets. I really do. And I stand by that. The more I look at this and the more I see the rest of those cryptos pull away on the Radeon 7 and not really be that much more attractive than using, say, like an AMD 5700 or a 5700 XT, then I think the Radeon 7, it might find its way back into the hands of people who said they really wanted it in the first place. And again, shout out to Son of a Tech. Son of a Tech, when he had the opportunity to build up a lot of cards, what did he choose primarily? A lot of those cards. The AMD 5700s, the 5700 XTs, 5600 XTs. The guy is just smart as a whip. Just absolutely respect the heck out of Son of a Tech and the choices that he makes there. So just give him props where it's due, guys. That's our Radeon 7. Looking at our bottom of the line Vega 56, also HBM2, plenty of RAM on it, high performance core, does really well on Ethereum. And Ethereum is fairly close to the top of the list. It's at 282 with Auto Lycos algorithm, but for nice hash paying out most. Let's see where Ergo is in this lineup. Where the heck is Ergo? How are we going to see the Auto Lycos algorithm here in profitability, but not see Ergo anywhere? Where did Ergo go? What the heck? Okay, something's not quite right here, guys. We're missing some data. It could be that the Ergo coin is pulled from the profitability lineup on what to mine. We saw this with the other day with Haven, right? We saw this with Haven when there was a hack in the Haven blockchain. When we saw there was a bit of an exploit in the Haven blockchain, it was pulled from what to mine for a little while as a safety measure, as a precaution to keep unqualified people who weren't up to the speed on the news from mining to it. It could be there's something going on with Ergo that we're not aware about, that I'm not aware about, and maybe that's why we see Nice Hash topping the list and not Ergo here for this particular coin. However, on the Vega 56, ETH hash for Ethereum is at 282. Raven coin is at 168, just almost $1 less. Ethereum Classic at 162. Beam at 116. Wow, that's rough. So Vega, again, we're seeing Vega 56 pretty much be a phenomenal Ethereum mining card at the moment. Sam is saying maybe it got hacked, I think referring to Ergo, and I think that's probably the case. That's quite possibly true. I'm going to have to take a look at some of that news, and maybe we'll pull that up as we go to the GPU mineable portfolio, that side of the portfolio. Maybe we do just click through. The Deadwood says noobs perhaps scour repetitive mining, savage mining, card settings. No offense. Oh, hey, so the Deadwood, yeah, he's asking about GPU mines. I did not catch that. Noobs is saying trying to get rid of the Ethermine, changing payouts. I know ETH is still better than Raven, trying to prepare. Yep. So yeah, as far as the 5700, I would say, guys, as I mentioned before, I'm gonna just back up what the Deadwood said there. You guys just heard me say it a minute ago that Son of a Tech, he's a deeper expert on the 5700 XT than almost anybody in the GPU mining space right now. And you know who's an even deeper Raven expert is Bitsby Trippin. Bitsby Trippin, far deeper expert on the mining efficiency than the other folks mentioned. They're pretty good, but Bitsby Trippin is he's second to none as far as that goes. And in fact, I think he literally just today released a video on how to decrease your power usage for mining Raven specifically. So definitely solid there. What I will say though, we got the Stay Savage hashtag going in the comment section. That's phenomenal, guys. If you don't know Savage Mine, go check out that channel as well. Be subscribed. Look through all the playlists. It helps Savage's family, and he's no longer with us, but his content is phenomenal and it lives on. You can be supportive in that way. So we'll just throw that out there again, guys. Yes, Savage is going to be a phenomenal resource for you there, but you will not be able to ask questions and have them answered there. Okay, so just throwing that out there. But guys, yeah, Bitsby Trippin is he's your resource for all things Ravencoin. I'm just going to flat out hand that to the guy. Nobody out Bitsby Trippin, right? Like Trippin's, you know what I'm talking about, right? So sometimes the turn of phrase gets me hung up, right? But you know what I mean. The dude's an OG. He's awesome. But back here on the main event, we got the Vega 56 not looking its best Polaris 8 gig card. We're talking about the RX 580. Oh wow. I'm gonna bring it up again, guys. The Deadwood, I'm sorry. Yes. Yeah, we lost Savage Mine. We lost Savage Mine a few weeks back, and yeah, good dude. Good dude. A lot of emotions still there, right? There was a we did a hashathon for his family. I think all told in the amount of Ethereum that was both mined and donated, I think just in Ethereum it was over 4 or maybe 6 ETH that was raised for the family, as well as a GoFundMe that I think also vastly outperformed what it was set to do. It only had a target of about $1,000. It did far better than that. Several different crypto projects, including Flux Network and Conceal Network that he promoted so much, and a few others, Ion Network as well, and Raptorium. And I'm sorry, I may be forgetting 1 or 2 other projects. They all contributed extremely generously to make sure that Savage's family didn't feel any financial burden for putting him to rest. So yeah, whew, man, yeah, no, it still doesn't feel real, right? Like we're still in that phase where you brought it up and I just didn't think about it today. So yeah, he's no longer with us, but his content is there. If you haven't seen it, guys, it helps his family, really. And that's been so important to us. He gave so much. He gave so much to the mining community. And the least we can do is just watch some videos, right? I mean, and he was giving knowledge away for free. So it's pretty amazing. But yeah, you got some experts in the space, plenty to go around, guys. I do not go over tuning these days anymore. Not really. Not much. I like going over some of the numbers, some of the spreadsheets, some of the calculations here. I'm a little bit more of an overview kind of guy. Yes, I do get my hands dirty when when my advice is retained, like right when a client comes and hires me to do consulting work for helping them to plan their mining operation. I do get my hands dirty and I do deploy mining hardware. I've got no problem doing that, but I don't do that every single day, and I don't go over it here. A lot of other creators do that sort of thing. So anyway, here we are on the 580 Polaris 8 gig card, and we're at $1.67 per day. We're down significantly from when we peaked at almost $2.50 per day on the Polaris edition cards. But here we are, still profitable on these cards that, again, should probably have been retired a long time ago. And on Ravencoin, we're seeing 88 cents every single day. Ethereum Classic, 92 cents every single day. Beam Hash, or Beam, 61 cents. And Zano at 46. So there's still some profit. And yeah, it's kind of crazy that these are still profitable. Let's look at our 4 gig Polaris card. And here on Ethash, we're going to preemptively pop that up to 30.5 mega hash per second. That's a much closer calculation of what it's supposed to be. And when we click for calculate, again, 14 cent power, profitability, and difficulty for the revenue set at an average of 7 days. And we've got Ravencoin, top of the stack, 91 cents per day, with Ethereum Classic at 95 cents per day. I think that it hasn't been consistently the most profitable for 7 days, which is why in a stacked ranking, it's not as high. See, we're sorting by the profitability over 7 days. So even though it looks higher in profit over the last 24 or 48 hours, it may not have been the most profitable over the last 7 days. So if you were to set and forget your rigs on Ravencoin versus Ethereum Classic. Ethereum Classic just looks really good right now, but at least over the last week, you probably would have earned more with Ravencoin, if that makes sense. That's why we like doing this very conservative look, this very conservative view, going for just 24-hour profitability. Sucker's game, right? You can never catch up. You can never quite get on top of what's actually profitable, and you'll be switching your rigs back and forth so much, you're going to look like a crazy person, right? So at any rate, that's our top of the list there. We've got Beam as well at 58 cents per day, and Zano at 33, not very attractive compared to Ethereum. But let's move all the way down to our R9 Fury card. It's a first generation HBM card by AMD. Not very popular these days, but it is a high performance card. You can see right there on Ethash 4G, 29 mega hash per second. The power consumption is quite high. Just because it's an older card, much thicker transistors, right? Essentially on, or thicker lithography, you know. This card be thick, you know, at the lithography level. But that's what you're dealing with when it comes to the R9 Fury. HBM2 means it's got really fast memory as well, so that's probably why it performs so well on Dagger Hashimoto. Ravencoin, though, is top of the list for consistent profits at 88 cents per day, with Zano in a kind of a distant second at 59 cents per day, and Ethereum Classic at 55 cents per day. Beam at 58 cents per day, so actually pretty close, those three. Not too much difference in those three, but there's only one number one for this card, and that's Ravencoin. Moving down to the R9 380 ancient card, as GPUs go, we've got Gundy's Stuff and Things in the comments. Hello. He says, yo. And I say, yo, sir. There was a comma there, an Oxford comma. You didn't hear it, but it was there, I promise. So the R9 380 is going to get us, let's see, Ethereum Classic at the top of the list at 34 cents every single day. And Ravencoin, it's barely above a profit at 10 cents every single day in profit, with Zano at 1 cent, barely breaking even. Nothing else breaking even above that. So if you're looking at that R9 380, if you still got one of those in your mining operation because you're like, you know what, I won't let it go, gosh darn it, I just love you too dang much, can't sell my R9 380. Well then, I've got news for you. All you're going to be mining is Ravencoin, or Ethereum Classic. We've got Bear at the North Pole saying Ergo is on what to mine. Well, hey, I appreciate that feedback. I don't know why it's not showing up in the main area here. So why don't we go ahead and pop open a new window, and let's take as just a base value. Let's jump back to where we saw the auto Lycos algorithm. And guys, was that on our 5,000 and 6,000 series cards? Let's jump back and see roughly what that was there. And no, oh my gosh, I'm drawing blank. Why am I drawing blank? Why are you doing this, brain? All right, so I think it was our Team Green cards then. Had to have been our value and efficiency cards. So jumping back into here and calculating. And Cryptid Youth says he mined his 980 until it gave up the ghost. Hey, can't say I blame you, not at all. Looks like Auto Lycos is not really showing up super high in this list, but let's just take this as a baseline measurement, and let's use the composite of these four cards here into the Auto Lycos. There we go, right there. 250 mega hash at about 420 watts. What? Here's the funny thing, guys. I don't actually smoke, but it is like the crypto joke, right? You're supposed to always make fun of it, right? Well, there it is. It showed up in the wild. The number 420. Now laugh. I said laugh. All right. Okay, I was totally joking. That was a terrible, terrible joke. But there it is. We're at 250 mega hash at 420 watts. We're going to drop that down by about half. Leave it right where it is. 250 mega hash though, and let's pop over to our crypto coins tab right here. See the difference there? The UI, guys? I went from GPU tab up here next to what to mine, and then there's an ASIC tab and a coins tab right there. This thing is really, really helpful. They also have a Litecoin Plus tab in case you want to do merge mining and get some Doge in addition to your Litecoin. Bojan says, hello in the comment section. Well, hello. Thanks for joining us tonight. Appreciate you being here. But let's look for the Ergo. Hey, you know, it totally is. What the heck? What's going on? Great call. Thank you so much. Bear at the North Pole, for bringing this to my attention. I don't know why this isn't showing up in the main lineup, but let's go to our 250 mega hash per second. Let's go to our power of 420, highly efficient actually, almost double the hash rate, nearly, not quite. Significantly more hash rate at only 40 watts more. Cost at 14 cents per kilowatt hour. See this slightly different layout here. Hardware cost is immaterial to us right now because we will resell these cards at some point in the future. We're not worried about that today. And then, or if you're acquiring it, you can put in the cost that you paid for the cards there. That's up to you. And then fees for the pool. I don't believe in totally free pools. I always go the worst case scenario with 2%. And then block reward. This is, oh, interesting. This should be updated real time, right? Yeah, this should absolutely update real time. Cryptid Youth says this is like NIM when it was more profitable and not showing up. Oh, yeah, right? Who knows? Maybe we're going to see something a lot more. Average for the last 7 days. Difficulty for the last 7 days. Guys, we got to keep it apples to apples here, right? Let's go ahead and hit calculate now because we're not worried on tonight's show about our initial cost. May vary every hour, 15 cents every day at 367 every single day. Our profit over cost, or profit after cost. Now let's take a look at our other coins for that same profile, right? That same lineup, approximately the same performance on the Auto Lycos. We're looking at about $6.44 per day on Ethereum. And then the lowest on the leaderboard here, I think we said was Zano at 434. So Ergo is not super attractive in terms of the daily profit over other coins you could be mining at approximately the same performance level. We can try something else. Let's take a look at our high performance Team Green cards. So we're looking at our 1080 Ti, our 1660S, our 2080 Ti, and our 3090 again, with Auto Lycos hitting 484.5 mega hash at 660 watts. Let's calculate here to see roughly what we're looking at. And again, it's Ethereum top of the list, $13.85. It's gone up since we last checked. That's why I was so excited about tonight, guys. Clearly, Ethereum it's ripping, right? It's just doing awesome. And so at the moment, what we're going to see is profitability for Ethereum that's a little bit higher than it was before. Stefan says, goodbye, everyone. Sorry that I have to go. It's almost 3 a.m. over here. People need to sleep sometimes. Agreed. Thanks for hanging out with us. Really appreciate that. And your English, by the way, is phenomenal. Your written English, we wouldn't have known that you were from Belgium unless you told us. So thanks for hanging out with us for a minute. So here we are, taking a look at that number, 1385. Really exciting time to be mining Ethereum. Kapow and Ravencoin, of course, or the ProgPow variant, gives us 946 for Ravencoin. Firo, mid $9, Ethereum Classic mid $8, Zano at 8 even. So let's check to see what this performance level here on Auto Lycos, 484, we'll just call it 485, and then 660 watts gives us. So 660 watts and 485 mega hash. Block reward is largely unchanged. Let's go ahead and calculate there. And it looks like our profitability is every single day, $7.64. So even lower than what we call the bottom of the leaderboard, Zano. It's not super profitable, but it is profitable. Thank you so much again, Bear at the North Pole, for bringing that up. Bummer that it's hidden, but clearly it's not where the maximum profit is today. It's at almost half of the profitability of Ethereum today. So that's kind of a bummer. But again, it's not nothing, right? I mean, you can still mine it at a profit. So if that's your jam, you want to support that project, then why not? Go ahead and do that. All right, guys, that's our what to mine numbers there. Let's get some requests in the live chat for coins that we want to peek in on the network, right? Check the net hash for certain coins. Let me know what you want to see there. And while you're doing that, let's take a look at Fiat Leak for Ethereum. Let's check to see where in the world the ETH goes. Where does the ETH go right now today? At 2287, which is phenomenal. We've got a little 2.83% bump. Looking better than before, certainly, better in the last couple of days. Looks like we got a lot of USD pouring into Ethereum. Now, we got Musab saying hello in the comment section. He says, mine your biz, my man. Well, Musab, my brother, thank you for showing up. Good to see you here. Thank you for being with us. But we got a lot of US dollars pouring into Ethereum. We've got, it looks like, what was our other currency? Here we definitely have some rubles. Yeah, again, rubles and pounds going into Ethereum. Not seeing a whole lot of Mexican pesos or Brazilian real or Canadian dollars going into Ethereum right now. However, outside of these English-speaking countries and former Eastern Bloc. We've got, it looks like, plenty of Japanese yen, plenty of Thai baht, which is not too surprising. And William Sullivan says there's lots of ETH going somewhere. Miners killing it on eZill right now. Yeah, the eZill mining pool it's not bad. It's not, if you want to do dual mining, it's not the worst option. I'm a little bit of a bigger fan of Ethermine, and I like taking payouts on Polygon Network or Matic, just because I've got a slightly smaller farm. So without, barring having 10 gigahash or 5 gigahash, which is not a massive farm, but for somebody just mining at home, it's a bit bigger, right? Barring having a lot of hash rate, it's nice to mine to a pool that allows for lower fee payouts every 24 hours on Matic, right? On Polygon. And really, Ethermine is the only game in town for that today. So yeah, while there are some other mining pools out there that do offer some profitability, I don't know that they're actually any more profitable than getting your hands on your Ethereum sooner than later and then pegging when you see volatility, or getting yourself involved in DeFi on Polygon. And we'll talk about that in the coming days. Definitely there are so many more miners who are getting on board now with flipping their profits into DeFi instruments, into staking, into various higher yield instruments, and it'll help you do more than just getting a little bit of dual mined or merge mined coins. Now, eZillMe is not a bad pool at all. This is not me discouraging anybody from going and checking it out, trying it out for a while at least. But I definitely think that having more payouts faster to be able to flip into higher yield staking, it's going to shift things a bit. Kyle says, sorry for so many ums today, guys. I'm saying a lot. That annoys me. Kyle says EIP 1559 will change pools. I think that's probably true. It will change pools significantly, the way they operate. Definitely with Ethermine. Son of a Tech mentioned this not too long ago. He was the first to break the news. But Ethermine has announced officially that when EIP 1559 drops, that they're going to increase the percentage of MEV that they are able to carve out of Ethereum from 80%, which is what they're paying out right now to miners, all the way up to 100%. But it's a give and take, right? There's a catch. In exchange for that, instead of them paying the fees for payouts to miners, they're going to ask the miners to pay the payouts, pay the fee for the payouts, unless they're on Polygon. If you're on Polygon, they're not going to have you pay the payout. So they've stacked reasons up upon reasons for me to stick with Polygon right now. It's not my favorite choice. It's not my first choice even. But the fact that there is some DeFi available natively on Polygon does kind of help set my mind at ease. And I'm getting a lot more comfortable with 1-inch DEX, right? 1-inch DEX allows you to trade natively on Polygon as well. So it's a lot more convenient than the bridging out officially on the Polygon bridge, which I'm not super happy with. But if I can keep things on the Polygon network, then I think that's probably worth it. There may be some other options coming up in the near future, so we'll see. Zotrak says, how was Ethermine able to do the payouts for 1 Gwei for years? Well, Zotrak, that's a good question. As far as being able to do payouts for really, really low gas fees, that's what mining pools do. They organize the blocks. If they're really good at their jobs, then they already organize the blocks for us. We contribute hash rate for them to be able to organize the blocks. And because they have such incredibly high hash rate, they structure their own blocks so that the fees are paid out based on the structure that they put into the organization of those blocks, if that makes sense. It's a fee-based system, right, in Ethereum, but because they're paying out mining profits, they're not like, it's not as though you are telling them, like, all right, I want to pay out at exactly this moment. They have an approximate time frame where they mine those blocks where all their payouts live. So for them to take that back now, I'm like, that's kind of bogus. This is their way of assessing some kind of a fee that helps keep them in business. They don't need to do it, right? They don't. They never needed to assess a fee for us to receive our payouts because they've got such dominance in the global hash rate that it just doesn't make any sense. However, they've got a business to run, and we'll see. We'll see after the first week if we like that or not. But if there are no fees associated with taking payouts on Polygon, then you're not going to notice the difference, right? And that's kind of where I am right now. But you do you, guys. I'm never going to tell you exactly, what to do, where to mine, or or what coins you should choose to do. I will try to encourage you to stay away from NiceHash. I will. Right? I'll whatever, like a broken record, I'll keep playing that note. Do try to stay away from NiceHash. If you're looking for some other alternatives, I've got a link down in the description of this video for miningrgrentals.com. It's just mrr.myb.lol. Go to that link, and it is a referral link. It's an affiliate link, but you'll be able to list your hash rate there, and you can sell your hash rate to another individual directly for Bitcoin or for Ethereum, whatever coin you want, and for whatever time frame you want. Maybe you only want to sell your hash rate for a day, 24 hours. You can list it for 24 hours. Maybe you only want to sell it for 3 days or 7 days or for a full month in advance. And guess what? They actually pay out before you're totally done. So it is a great way for you to arbitrage the hash rate that you have in the system too. You don't have that kind of bargaining power on NiceHash. Straight up, guys, I'm just telling you, I really honestly believe that Mining Rig Rentals is a better option, not just for the ecosystem, but for you and for me. That's why I have the affiliate link. So if you do want to try it out, please hook a brother up, right? Like, consider clicking on my link. You don't have to, whatever. But anyway, William Sullivan is saying, now you sound like son of a tech, LOL, but I agree completely. I'll take that as a compliment. I'll take it for what it's worth. Son of a tech is a cool dude. Really. I've been called far, far worse. I'm sure he has too, but not by much being compared to me. That is maybe you're insulting him more than you know. But here we are back on fiatleak.com, guys. We see the US dollars leaking into the Ethereum ecosystem, and then plenty again of really pounds and rubles to the left of the US dollar. Not a lot of other currencies outside of Korean won, and I thought I saw a little bit of Thai baht flowing in, and then plenty of Japanese yen, and some Aussie dollar. Heck yeah, there you go. Way to show up, Aussies. And then, of course, some euro. Gotta throw some euro into the mix. Anybody who is in the EU who's not interested in Ethereum, they really don't know what they're missing. Tammy Grable says, good job on the blockchain today. I really appreciate that, Tammy. Thanks for hanging out with us tonight, taking a look here at Fiat Leak and some of the profitability for GPU mining, as well as we've got a little GPU mineable portfolio and CPU mineable portfolio where we look at coins that are kind of insider coins just for miners, right? Like, most other people don't look at these coins because they're CPU or GPU mineable on computers you could build at home. So this is kind of our little, it's our little cabal. Appreciate you being here though, and thank you again. That's very kind. Musab says HiveOS maybe should implement profit switching. Yeah, maybe Hivon will. Maybe reach out to the team there. William says it would be awesome. I can see what wasn't needed before, but will be soon. That it wasn't needed before, will be soon. Casual Mining jumps in and says, nice job on that panel. Haha, Tammy, I just got done watching that. Well, appreciate it, guys. Thank you so much again for the congratulations there. Unless I do too many victory laps, this is an interesting space, guys. Everybody has an opinion, and of course, you should take any of them with a grain of salt. Obviously, mine included a heavy, heavy dose of salt, right? Throw it over your shoulder even. Like, really, anything you do to improve your odds, do it. I won't be offended personally. You got to take ownership of your own decisions. So here we are back on this chart, though, for Fiat Leak, seeing ETH go all over the world. Let's take a look at Bitcoin, see where in the world it is going just really, really quickly. Gundy says, need more videos on quantum financial system takeover. Bruh, you read my mind. We got to do it. Yeah, crossover. The collab video. It's gonna be Gundy, Nemesis, Crypto Mikkel, Doge Lord, and Mind Your Biz talking about quantum financial system takeover. Dun dun dun. 39. That's a very tidy number there. $39,009. Yeah. Bitcoin price. Why can't you be normal? Do something like 007. Gosh darn it. At least you'd be cool. Just kidding. We're going to take a look at that chart a little bit later on. That's going to be fun to look at for sure. See what the price action has been today. We're going to check in on our chopsticks, right? To see if we're ready to scoop up some ramen or not. Those of you who were here yesterday, but here we go. US dollar is where really the majority of the action is. Let's be totally honest here. It's just like, that is like a fire hose of Bitcoin flowing into the US dollars. So Gundy's stuff and things says, wow, the delivery alone, I would watch that. Can you imagine if it were just Doge Lord and me riffing all night? Dude, it'd be like I don't think people could handle that, or just the entire team, right? But Doge Lord alone, if just he and I just did like movie quotes, sound like announcer guy stuff, like in a world where GPU mining is the only way to get your crypto. Right? Finish my sentence type thing. That would be insane. But here we are again, seeing that the majority of Bitcoin is flowing into the US dollar. We don't know for sure that that's exactly geographically where it's going, but the US dollar is what is pouring in. And we see also on the list, the euro is, it's showing up as representing Great British Pound, the Brazilian real. There it is. Now it's showing up. See that? People from Brazil, they get it. You guys have heard me say it before. They are not slouches. Don't ever make the mistake of thinking that Brazil is like any other, air quotes, banana republic. It is not. Brazil is like the Texas of South America, financially independent and debt-free for so many years. Do not ever bet against Brazil. Straight up. Just don't do it. And in the financial sector here, plenty of successful business people coming out of Brazil, and clearly spending dollars on this, or spending real on this, not dollars. I apologize. Let's see again. Where is that coming out of? Japan, Japanese yen, Korean won, and not seeing much else. Rubles, plenty of rubles. Again, these larger established, right, more developed nations, they're interested in Bitcoin, and it's definitely pushing in. Gundy says, reminds me of old DDoS attack maps. Good point. Really good point. What am I saying here? What is this? The South African Rand? Really? Yeah. Oh my gosh. South Africa gobbling itself up some Bitcoin. South Africa loves itself some Bitcoin. Obviously. I didn't expect that. But it shows up even compared to markets like Japan and Korea, which are, as you know, pretty healthy. And then obviously the euro, right? Very, very strong economy with the euro. Very, very strong currency as fiat goes. So interesting. Not seeing much else by way of Aussie dollar, right? Hong Kong dollar and other, the second line down below. It just doesn't compare, not nearly as much in terms of the refresh rate of how much Bitcoin is flowing out. But that's our US dollar there. And hey, there we go. It's right on cue. Bitcoin did something interesting on the show. Went from 009 to 086. It's up. It's up by $85 or $87. Sorry. It's awesome. Some Goblin Loser says in the comments, the only issue I have with Brazil is the fact that they burned down a natural habitat just to have cattle farm land. Yeah, well, no system of government is perfect. I think I'm going to say that first off. And then no system of large-scale business is perfect either. There are inequities in the world. We'll move on Bitcoin there. All right, popped up almost significantly there. An order of magnitude has been filled. There was a 0 there before, now there's a 1. Right? So that's cool. But yeah, on Brazil. Yeah, no country is perfect, obviously. There are plenty of people who emigrate from Brazil because they're like, yeah, I'm tired of how imperfect this country is. Obviously. And you meet them in Florida. Plenty, right? Plenty of Brazilian expats who are like, yep, I'm done, never going back. But I'm just saying, all things considered, they've done quite well as a country. They've done quite well in terms of staying debt-free and in terms of meeting largely their own financial and energy obligations within their country. Totally not perfect, right? The favelas, right, are terrible, and a lot of the other poverty in that country is like gut wrenching, but it's amazing, right? That they show up here where you see the dollar and the ruble and the Korean won and all these other currencies flowing into Bitcoin in mass amounts, right? What other South American currency is going in there? Not one. Not at this scale. That's why I bring it up, guys. It's noteworthy. It's worth paying attention to. But let's go from all the way from our what to mine numbers. Let's jump backwards into our Bitcoin mining numbers, and let's go with the Antminer S9, guys. So if you've been holding out this long, then or the show format, then we're going to look at how much it costs to mine one full Bitcoin on different hardware profiles. Just two, though. Just two. One from Bitmain and one from MicroBT. So the break-even price is currently 17.1 cents. So at 14 cents per kilowatt hour, we're getting one full Bitcoin or mining one full Bitcoin on the Antminer S9 for $32,000. Not the best deal, in my opinion. Really not the best way to go. But it's profitable enough you can justify it, maybe if you already have one, or if you work with a group and you have combined resources, or you're able to move to renewables after that point. So let's see, what does it look like when we cut that power almost in half to say 8 cents per kilowatt hour, which is doable in some areas. Again, $18.3 thousand. That makes much more sense. You've seen other people in the space call for $20,000 Bitcoin or lower, right? Some people saying it could go to $14,000. Oh no. Well, that may be true. That may be possible. I'm not here to tell you that that's impossible. What I am saying is that the S9 mining one full Bitcoin at $18.3 thousand, I still feel good about. And if I were managing a larger scale farm with Antminer S9s, I wouldn't be too worried if the cost basis for power was a bit lower. If it was 8 cents per kilowatt hour or lower, that's all I'm saying. So yeah, at 8 cents, it's good. At 5 cents, it's great. At fully renewable, obviously that's the way to go. But at 5 cents per kilowatt hour, you're getting one full Bitcoin for 11.4 thousand US dollars on the Antminer S9, and you actually have something of a business case, in my opinion. It actually makes some sense. Let's move to our secondary profile here, the MicroBT or our alternate profile, the What's Miner M20S. Nothing super advanced, right? Not the M31S Plus or anything like that. Middle of the road. Right? Again, I talked to you about mining the averages. I talked to you about being very realistic about the kinds of hardware profiles that you and I can source, right? As at-home miners or as small to mid-scale operators. The larger capital interests, the groups that say like, hey, you know what? Maybe we can throw $20 million at mining. And I've consulted groups like this. Those kinds of groups that just say like, whatever, we'll try $20 million. We think it'll work probably, but at least we hope so. Right? Oh, it didn't work? Okay. Like those kinds of people, they don't have to ask these kinds of questions, right? They can pretty much just say like, we want that one. How many do you want? 1,000 or whatever, right? We don't have those like we don't live like that. I'm taking for granted most people in the audience tonight. I'm taking for granted that's who I'm having a conversation with. We can definitely get ourselves an M20S, right? It's not even middle of the road. It's towards the bottom of the line. However, it hashes at about 68 terahash per second, so significantly faster than the S9 at its 13.5 terahash per second, right? It's more than 4 times as performant as the S9. At 5 cents per kilowatt hour, you're mining one full Bitcoin at $6,500. You see how when you have that power at scale for this hardware profile or anything more high performance than it, you're laughing all the way to the bank right now in doing native Bitcoin mining. I really do think there's a strong case for that. If you are trying to build something from scratch right now, again, I wouldn't recommend it unless you are part of an investor group. And this is not me soliciting business here, not at all. But unless you're part of an investor group that knows your business very, very well, I wouldn't recommend anybody just jump into buying hardware right now. But if you were, then this is the only way that would make sense. Jumping all the way back to that residential rate, you're just going to see, again, it's been pretty consistent over the last several days, $18.4 thousand. Again, just mining at home, even if you already had one of these, or if you had a friend who had one of these and you could house it for them, you could work together. Acquiring your Bitcoin at $14,500, it might not be awesome when Bitcoin finally retests its lowest support level. And I mean like the basement support level in the next bear cycle. When we get into a true bear cycle and we really test the lows, you might not be happy with $18.4 thousand Bitcoin. But I promise you, when it comes back up for the next halving cycle, you'll be just fine with it, right? If it is a long game you're playing there, personally, I'd be very okay with acquiring it at that price. But again, middle of the road, if you're at home, residential or commercial or commercial power within the area that you live, you're looking at closer to 10.5. 10.5 is the sweet spot, and that's why I think this hardware profile is quite good. So anyway, guys, you've heard me give that little spiel a few times, and I'll stick by it, guys. These are sound principles. These are some of the principles that I use when working directly with higher profile clients. And straight up, I mean, like, I'm not really holding anything back from you there. It's really that simple. You have to look at your cost for power and some of the devices that fit, right, for what you can actually source for power. But I digress. Let's jump into our portfolio. Not hearing anybody talk about the mining pools or wanting to hear about the mining pools, but you know what? Forget that. Let's go into Ethereum. Let's make that a part of the show, as a consistent part of the show moving forward here. Ethermine.org is, well, it's the top dog right now. It's not at 51% of the hash rate, though. That's the thing. Not even close to 51% of the hash rate. And it was among the first to offer MEV in addition to all the rest of it. Kyle offers some insight in the comment section of the live chat saying, like agriculture, farming is all about yield and overhead. Can't predict markets. Yeah. Totally true. Totally true. Kind of funny, actually. My wife and I both, we both have ancestors who worked in agriculture, who had farms and ranches. And yeah, you're pretty much just, you're weighing the cost of water and irrigating a large swath of land, right? The cost of water against seed, against maybe whatever tools you need for that particular season, and deciding how many more tools can I afford to get versus the amount of land that I have to work on. It's, it's not any more complex than maybe a bit of high school algebra. It's not super complex math or whatever. People who say like, oh no, you gotta, whatever, this is calculus. I gotta run the calculus on this. It's not calculus, man. These are not actuarial tables, and we're not doing crazy predictive markets for 25 years in the future. So don't just put those ideas right out of your head. It's not that advanced, not by a long shot. But here we are on Ethereum, the Ethereum net hash charts here. We see that MEV, miner extractable value, is available in all of the top pools, right? None of them ignore the need to pay it out. EZIL is very, very low, but it has finally started offering MEV in the payouts, and people who do mine on it seem quite happy with it. There is a minimum payout, though, of 0.1 ETH, 0.01 ETH, so that's a bit of a drag if you have to wait for that. However, Ethermine also has a minimum payout threshold, and so does Hivon, so does Spark Pool, so does F2 Pool. Ethermine has US servers, and Hivon, the core team is based in the not the UK, but the Ukraine, sorry, based in the Ukraine, but so not a Chinese company, not Chinese group, but it is a former Eastern Bloc group. I don't know if that should make a difference to you. For some people it does, but that's Hivon. Some people feel very strongly about not mining to Spark Pool because they are definitely a Chinese pool. Not even sure if legally they're going to be permitted to maintain operations in the future, if all the FUD is to be believed. But let's take a look at Spark Pool as well. Yeah, very much focused on Ethereum, Beam, and Nervos. And then casual mining says 0.01 ETH. Cheap. Yeah, no, it's not bad. It's not bad if they definitely pay for the pool fees, definitely pay for the payout fees. Let's take a look at Ethermine as the last one here. And there you go, guys. Ethermine is ahead of the curve here, being early adopters of Ravencoin and having a really strong Ethereum Classic hash rate as well, and Zcash, and then solo mining on Ethereum. I'm trying to remember exactly who it is. Ooh, why am I drawing blank here? Casual mining, is it you? Are you the one that's doing the solo mining experiment right now? I'm gonna have to pull that up on Twitter to see who is doing their solo mining experiment. But there is definitely a sorry, I just got a tweet from Crypto Wendio. I've got a product photo on my website, and she said, "Nice portrait of me." I'm gonna have to show it to you. It really caught me off guard. But there's that one right there. She's like, "That nice portrait." It's not Crypto Wendio, but whatever. It was funny. Caught me off guard, guys. But yeah, that's funny. Flypool. It's not Flypool. What the heck? Ethermine. I want Ethermine. You dope. What? The link. You guys see that over in the corner? It's like to my right here, to your left, down in that corner. See the link, the preview? It's broken. It's not bringing you to Ethermine. It brings you when you navigate directly to it, but when you try to expand the view of the number of coins they have, it's actually showing you Flypool. Or no. What am I talking about? Good grief. Just the mother company's name, the mothership's name. I am like, sorry guys, been a long day, and I'm a little bit frazzled, not gonna lie. I kind of I left it all on the field today over around the blockchain. Competition was fierce, but we took home the dub. All right, so yeah, still Flypool here. Ravencoin definitely getting ahead of that with a significant percentage of the net hash and then Ethereum Classic as well. I did not realize how much of the Ethereum Classic net hash was available on Flypool or on Ethermine. That is interesting. Son of a Tech is with us in the comment section. Hey, buddy. Thank you for saying hello. He says, another day. And Crypto Youth says, I would have loved to solo mine that 22 ETH that came up earlier. And Casual Mining follows up with, I think EZIL is 1 GWei for payout, internally mined transaction, and 0.01 is small payout. Seems great. There are several pools where that's the case, where 0.01 is the minimum payout. Any less than that, any smaller than that, and on either their side or your side, whoever has to manage the transaction, if they have to eat the fee, right? If they're not actually organizing the block for the payout, but if they have to eat the fee, if it were just paid straight up, there's always the risk of that just being too much, right? Too much counterparty risk for that, whoever it is, it's eating the fee based on the current transfer, like the current GWei price, right? The current gas price for the day. So, I get it, guys. I get it. But I'm not here to shill any pools, put it that way. So please stop shilling pools in the comment section. I'm starting to bug me. It's twice, once is a coincidence, twice is funny, but 3 times is a pattern. Let's be careful, guys. So that's our pool overview there, really, really briefly. And now solo mining, I'm gonna have to pull it up, guys, and I'm so sorry that I don't know off the top of my head exactly who it is that's conducting the solo mining experiment, but I'll pull some data from their Twitter feed right now or from their YouTube channel, and then we'll talk about that at another time. GPU portfolio. We've got our GPU mineable coins. Last 24 hours, we're up by 182, but our total PNL is negative 29.17. And Ren BTC, there it is, guys. We called it. It happened between yesterday and today. We're up over the original amount that we put into the paper portfolio, which is kind of sad, but it's cryptocurrency, right? So we're like, hey, did we lose our shirts? No, we didn't lose our shirts. Yay. All right. That means we're definitely going to the moon, right? No, but we can still dream. Anyway, here we are with Ren BTC and Wrap Bitcoin at the top of the list, over $1,000. Ethereum nearing $1,000, right? We're almost getting there, guys. We see that upward channel there with the weird, like really weird pop up in profitability, kind of a little new resistance line there, but still an upward channel and a resistance line there. When you just look at that tiny little chart here that's inside of CoinGecko. Matic, Aave, interest bearing, wrapped ETH, doing its thing, right? Kind of, it looks like it's very much closely tied to the profitability of ETH, right? Because it's wrapped ETH and it's an interest bearing ETH. Ravencoin also doing well, but the trend does not look quite as strong as on these other coins, but we're nearing the $800 mark there. That's good. Same with Ethereum Classic. They're both coming up really well. Ethereum Classic actually potentially gaining more ground than Ravencoin for the same 7-day time frame. Jumping way down. I mean, I don't want to just like rush past Zano or whatever. It's there, right? The market cap is healthy. Daily volume is healthy. Coin price is relatively low. If people are looking for something to just like, if you have a whole unit bias, right? If you have to have many whole coins, if that's what helps you feel better about it, then Zano, really low coin price. You can have a lot of the coins themselves. It's not the truest sense of, of value, right? But it's 7 days doing great too, right? Up 37%. So puts it right there. Scrolling all the way to the bottom, our biggest loser is still Haven, and it's still struggling to get past $3.50. However, the trend is positive. It's getting these weird head and shoulders formations inside of them, but they look probably organic. From a glance, they look like they're probably organic. It's not the weird manipulated price action that we've seen in other coins. 7 days up 21% for Haven, but I still think that it's probably a really great value buy. I mean, from the $1,000 that we put in, look at that. We're under $300. It's really taken a beating, but if the Haven developers can pull off what they're supposed to pull off, then I don't see a reason why the price can't go back to where it was eventually. If it does maintain that price parity with Bitcoin, or that price correlation with Bitcoin, when Bitcoin eventually goes back up towards $50,000, $60,000 or above, I don't see why Haven wouldn't go back to like $25 or $30 per coin, right? So 10x what we see right now, almost. Not financial advice. I'm not a stakeholder. I don't work for Haven. They don't pay for my reviews. They don't give me words to say. But I'm still struck by what I'm seeing there with Haven. in our little portfolio. But yeah, interesting there. Going from GPU portfolio into hard drive portfolio, and our 24-hour chains were up 374. PNL is negative 15.9%. MaidSafe coin is still our hero, right? Still a little darling. Sweet cheeks, lovely MaidSafe coin, keeping us above water, barely. And pulling the entire portfolio upwards at $1,800 from the original $1,000 that we put in. Chia still dragging us way down, weighing us down like an anchor, just like attached to a rock wrapped in seaweed. There it is. Still below $200, even in the midst of the rest of the price, the rest of the market running up. Chia manages to throw a little pity party and stay below $200. What does it mean? Well, I don't know, but you guys know that I don't, without being like overtly antagonistic here, I just mean to say that like they're going to be fine. You've heard me say it before. I think Chia is going to be our sleeper. Because if you're of the age that you remember when that movie, The Fast and the Furious, came out, not the more recent parts of the franchise, but The Fast and the Furious, the very first movie, when it came out, it was totally panned at the box office, right? Nobody watched it. People were like, Vin who? Oh, Van Diesel? Is he? That's the guy that's bald, that has the sort of the flabby, the smooth muscles. That's the bald guy who's kind of sort of tough, but pigeon-toed. And nobody really knew him, right? And same with Paul Walker at the time. Rest in peace. At the time, Paul Walker, who people didn't know a whole lot about him, right? It was like, oh, was he in that movie, The Skulls? Yeah, he was in the Skull movie. That's Paul Walker. And nobody cared. Like, nobody saw it at the box office. In the movie theater, nobody saw The Fast and the Furious. But fast forward a year, when it came out on DVD at the time, there wasn't a Blu-ray commercially available. Everyone was like, this Fast and Furious movie is kind of dope, though. I kind of like this. The racing the cars. Hey, he souped up he tuned up the Toyota Supra. Hey, did he just race a Ferrari and beat it in a Toyota Supra? That's super cool. And, everybody like in the import tuner scene got really, really excited about it. Point is, it was a sleeper hit and it slayed, right? It slayed later on, not initially. That's what I'm seeing for Chia, guys. I really see that. After all the forks are done and people say like, oh my gosh, yeah, oh my gosh, Zotrak too. He's right up. I remember what you did last summer, right? That's just so funny. Oh my gosh, Casual Mining had the 94 Integra, bro. Those early 90s models Honda, they were so awesome. They didn't start like jamming everything into under the hood yet, right? And you could actually swap out your ECUs and not have to get like some third party blessing and have like, whatever, like a rabbi pray over it, like make it kosher while you were connecting to like, seriously, it was a mess after the early 90s. Everything Honda, like not a total and complete mess, but it was straight up. It was like you could just chop whatever you wanted. For that year Acura, oh man, bringing me back. The Eclipse too, right? Some people had an Eclipse from that time, and everybody's slamming it, right? Cutting their springs and stuff. Whatever. Point is. Yeah, Ed Gundy, he says OBD2 killed cars in the United States. That's probably accurate, man. Yeah, 96 when it was all dialed in for onboard diagnostic ports, the second revision. Whatever. Point is, guys, bring it to the Fast and Furious. And I love that Son of a Tech says Too Fast, Too Furious is playing in my living room right now. It's awesome, man. But bring that up because I think that with Chia, we're going to see all these open source, like all these forks where they say like, yeah, we removed the dev fee because, why would you need a dev fee? It's like, well, in Chia's defense, they use their pre-mine in order to secure VC funding, and they've got the VC funding now, right? Bro, they got the bag. They secured the bag. They got tens of millions of dollars to make the thing. So, like, for us to presume that they're just going to disappear this time next year? Nah, I'm not saying that at all. Don't get it twisted. I'm not saying that Chia is going to fail at all. Not one bit. I'm just saying that if it succeeds, it will have to succeed based on merit later on. Because the launch was just bad. Kind of failure to launch, we'll say. Ish. But, right, people remember how you start and how you finish. Unfortunately, we're not super happy with the way Chia started, but I think it's going to finish a little stronger than this. Today, though, yeah, it's like an anchor trapped on a rock wrapped in seaweed. It's just really, really bad in this portfolio. It does not look great. But moving on from hard drive mineable coins into CPU mineable coins. And Sam, oh my gosh. Sam making us all drool. Sam had the Viper GT3000 at the time, twin turbo. Dang. Good grief. Son of a Tech is bringing up something from the current news cycle about the California pre-built PC bans and monitor bans. Oh my gosh. No, I did not check this out. I don't know if this has anything to do with efficiency ratings or like whatever else, right? Sam also brings up a question about Chia, saying lots of questions on Chia. Thank goodness I did not invest into it. You know, I think I agree when it comes to mineable coins that are very, very early launch. If you already have material around to mine the coins, it always seems to make more sense in retrospect. And people who tune into the show who were able to get their hands on several Chia coins early on, I mean, really, guys, I am so excited for you. I am happy for you. Really, like, do it. Hey, Crypto Budell coming back through with the DCA raid. What, guys, you know what? I need you to say it. I need you to hashtag it, DCA raid. If you're coming in from DCA, do it. Welcome. Thank you so much for hopping in with us, guys, and spending the evening with us over here. But just, yeah. When you can mine something that's a relatively new coin, why not go that route? And with Chia, that made more sense to me. The moment that I saw that the net space, right, the participation was going parabolic, and nobody's really saying that it was parabolic, it seemed obvious to me that I'm like, I can't catch up now. If I had just jumped in about a month earlier, or maybe a few weeks earlier, I might have been okay, but for the most, it just left me behind. Was not very happy with the way that panned out. We got Crypto Mikkel in the house. We got Limitless Combo in the house. Guys, thank you for sounding off. Let me just one more time for anybody who's coming in on that DCA raid. Guys, hashtag it. Say it loud and proud, DCA raid. Air horn for our DCA folks. Thank you for being here. Appreciate you. But yeah, that's my story. I'm sticking to it. If you can mine it, mine it. If you can't mine it, be very, very cautious about trying to spend your own hard-earned money for it. Yikes. All right. Our CPU mineable portfolio still shows Raptorium at the top of the list, now doing greater than $1,000 based on the paper $1,000 that we put in when we started. Monero took kind of a hit recently. If you didn't see my video earlier on today, I can give you the TLDR on that video. Basically, a bug was found with the decoy output. The decoy output selection algorithm. There's a bit of an issue there, meaning that if you just receive some Monero, if you've just received a few coins or you've just received some kind of transaction from Monero and you try to spend those received coins in under 1 hour, then the likelihood of that transaction being de-anonymized is great. Specifically, the decoy outputs being identifiable and parsed through so people can see well, that's the real output. The transaction, the destination and origin addresses, guys, I'm trying to slow down here so I get the terminology right. Destination and origin addresses are still anonymized, right? That's not something that is a problem with this current exploit or this current issue with the wallet client. And then same with amounts. Amounts are still confidential. So Monero is not broken, but there was a little bit of a hiccup there, and that might be reflected in price action over the next little while. It might not. The Monero community stepped right into it. They said, yeah, we're going to bring it up on Breaking Monero. They've got a talk show about it, guys. They literally talk about how to break the code base on a regular basis, right? They're trying to break Monero because they're thinking about adversarial conditions where a third party is trying to break Monero. So they're trying to beat them to the punch so they can fix what they broke in Monero. I'm not shocked by that, right? And to our pirate chain brothers and sisters, thank you for being so adamant and thank you for being so enthusiastic, but do not prematurely celebrate the death of Monero. I don't think it's going anywhere, and it's not anybody's opportunity to crap on this project or receive crap from them, right? Just saying. So expect that in the Monero scene. That's what I covered earlier today. Varus Coin is not doing great over the last 24 hours, and again, weird artificial looking chart there, still looking manipulated, artificially propped up to a brand new support line there that's just barely touching, really trying to play with resistance at the top there, right? A very strange looking trend line, strange looking formation. Had a chat with a developer, not directly from the Varus Coin project, but from another adjacent project, and And they agree with me. Don't think this is the project leadership. I do not think this is Nick. I do not think this is Frank. I don't think it's any of the core developer group here, but somebody's having a laugh at our expense over on Veriscoin, and I don't know why. That's a very, very ill-advised way to try to increase price and try to increase investor interest, doing some kind of manipulation or wash trading here. Whoever is doing that, if you are in the sound of my voice, if this hits your desk, stop it. Cut it out now. There are really good people working on this project, and you're going to make their work look like a joke if you keep doing that. So stop it. All right, wow, narrow, bottom of the list. We still see that upward trend with a bit of an organic spike right there. This looks like a normal chart to me, right? Just wow, narrow, right? Doing its thing, 18.5 cents. But overall, for the $1,000 we put into this, $1,000 we put into a paper portfolio, it's not doing so great. It's still down pretty bad, 60%. So it's kind of dragging our portfolio down quite a bit, which makes me sad. You guys know Wow Narrow is the test net. It's sort of the quasi-official test net for Monero. It debuted RandomX first. It's apparently going to debut solo mining, enforced solo mining first, which is going to be awesome. Hey, son of a tech, if you're still here in the comments section, do me a solid and let me know. Do you want to do some collab content on setting up a Blade server for mining these CPU mineable coins? Because I think that's going to be the next frontier for coins like Wow Narrow, where you've got enforced solo mining. So you're going to have some kind of a properly crafted cluster to be able to get higher hash rate and ensure that you're a little bit more competitive on some of these networks. Anyway, I'd love to get your feedback on that, man. So whatever, like either free content idea, or let me know if you want to try to do something where we bounce that off each other. I'm very interested in that right now. I think it's going to be very, very cool to see how that plays out. But that's our CPU mineable side of the portfolio. Let's go to our ASICs. Now we're going to see our Pirate Chain. Now we're going to see our, we don't have on here. Why in the world do we not have Litecoin and Doge? What was I thinking? I'm like dead serious. Why don't I have Litecoin and Doge? As far as like a merge mineable trade, like coin pair, I don't know how I managed to not put those on the list. You know what I think it was? I think I was trying to avoid the Doge mania. Because there's so many brand new people in the space who would jump in and be like, oh, yeah, he's talking about mining Doge. That's the only thing that matters. Oh, Doge to the moon. Elon said, fill in the blank, some kind of crazy nonsense. I think I was trying to avoid that. But it's not really a good reason, because if you have L3 plus miners, obviously you're mining Doge, and you're mining Doge over Litecoin because of how much more you're earning on Doge than Litecoin. I mean, crazy times, right? Could you have imagined that like a year ago? If I told you, yeah, you're gonna mine Doge and you're gonna like it, I wouldn't have believed it, right? Barry's in the comment section saying I'm merge mining Doge. Yeah, right. Makes sense. Hey, there we go. Barry is saying Rabid Mining is doing it with high core AMD CPUs. And Son of a Tech responds, says, I don't know about Blade. That's a bit more overall horsepower. I think snagging a DL series makes sense. Yes, I'd be done. Cool. Great. That's great. Yeah, I've got a DL series over here. It's a little older. But I think it's the right CPU. I think it's going to be the right performance for RandomX to make sense. Cool. That's great. That's great. Appreciate that. So we'll follow up on that at some other point, but I just think it's going to be really interesting to focus a little bit on CPU mineable coins over the next little while. Anyway, Real News 2020 says, mine Doge, like it. I like it a lot. Yeah, right, dude. Why you got to bring up the Antwort? I think you freaky and I like you a lot. All right. Yeah, Doge has got to get back on the list soon. Very, very soon, along with Litecoin here. At any rate, guys, this is our ASIC mineable portfolio. Bitcoin finally takes its rightful place at the top of the pack. Like what? Yes, like a bouse. All right, that's top of the list. Decred is still in second place at just below $1,000. Just below that, Pirate Chain clawing its way back up to 700, which is not awesome, but the trend is positive, and it's largely, again, you see following a correlated pattern with Bitcoin there. Dash doing what Dash does, being manipulated by whales, by Dash whales. Really, it's so bad. Dash is just like, it's an entire ecosystem all to itself. Oh, well, I don't want to like rip on Dash here, but I'm always a little bit surprised at Dash's insistence on not going away, but it's a thriving ecosystem. Apparently there are retailers. Apparently there's a bit of a commerce use case for it. Venezuela, for example, when things started to go really, really bad with the inflation in their currency, Dash and the community within Dash did a lot of outreach in Venezuela and got people to adopt it. There were some places like in Caracas where you have these very developed communities, and you could go out to, say, like a food court somewhere at an outdoor mall, and you could go buy food with Dash in Caracas, Venezuela. So kind of a shock there. I didn't really see that coming. So I kind of got to walk that comment back. It is like they're doing a bit like how Roger Ver did with Bitcoin Cash back in the day in Japan. That the Dash community does a lot of outreach. So it's not too big of a surprise that they're still doing that outreach and that it's having a positive effect on price and on adoption and on volume and all the rest. But Brand Central is jumping in saying, I'm mining Shiba Inu. Well, I was for a few days until I switched back to ETH. Oh, yeah, hey, I get it. Good grief. Bottom of the list is Horizon, but that's only 43%, which relative to our other sides of the portfolio is not the worst thing we could see, right? We've definitely seen worse in the mineable coin portfolio. Guys, I've got to figure out a proper entry point for putting Litecoin and Doge onto here, because now we have some historical data for how these have performed over time. You see the P&L numbers there. They have very much to do with when things happen. So I'm going to have to basically jump. Here we go. So like Bitcoin right here. I'll show you how this was made. And this is not an endorsement of like CoinGecko or whatever. This is how I did things easily here. But just put in a transaction, buying at a specific price, at a specific time, on a specific day. So if we jump back to May 26th and look at the historical data, we can get that data for Litecoin and for Doge. You guys want me to do that live here on the show? We could. It's not going to be weird. Go ahead and do that. So that way we have some comparative data here. But if we wanted to do more, we could add a transaction and figure that out. But we have to jump back in time to May 26th, right? We've got to go back, Marty. All right. So, yeah, I know. You guys don't pay me to do Doc Brown impressions, so I'm going to stop. It's okay. All right. But going back to our main portfolio, ASICs, let's grab LTC. Right. We'll stop. We'll start with the older coin, older of the coins. Litecoin is there now. Now I can add another coin. Dogecoin, and now they're both on the list, and they're automatically brought to the very bottom of the list because there's no value, right? We haven't put any dollar amount in yet. So now, in order for us to get the price, I'm using a 3-button mouse here. I'm going to center click, or I'm going to scroll wheel click on Dogecoin, open it up in a new tab, and go over to it. Let's go back 90 days. May 26th. May 26th. Here's the thing. How much price fluctuation did we have? Looks like it was about 34 or 35 cents that day. Not above 35, but not below 33.7 cents. So, my gosh. Y'all acting crazy in my comments section. Brand Central is saying he's mining. He's asking how much ADA are you getting and what's the hash rate? I may do it. And Real News, let's see. Brand also said he was mining Shiba Inu, which is just, it's funny, guys. It's an ERC20 token. Don't listen. Whatever. Be silly. But here we are. Actually, Casual Mining does have a really good idea there for a Doc Brown bit, right? 1.21 gigahash. Great Scott. That's a good one, man. We got to get a t-shirt going with that, right? Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. T-shirt idea. Doge Lord, if you steal my idea, based on what Casual Mining just suggested to me, I'm going to reach through this webcam and do things to you. It's not going to be weird. It's going to be violent. It's not going to be violent. It's going to be funny. Don't worry about it. Anyway, that's a great t-shirt idea. We should do that. But using the Wayback Machine here, right? Just looking at price action on the 26th, looks like maybe we'll just say 35 cents for our Dogecoin. Now, it's very easy. Here, add transaction. Oof. Dead. 35. One issue, though, is that we have to calculate how much that would have been. And now we jump back. May 26th. We have to determine a time. Let's just say it was in the afternoon. I've Cryptid Youth trade market. I can't trade market, man. I'm not able to. Son of the Tech is asking, when does the L7 launch? That's a great question. Yeah, the L7 is going to be very significant to this coin pair here, this merge mine coin pair of Doge and Litecoin. I don't know if anybody has been managed to be able to do a triple merge coin or triple merge mine on any of the S-Crypt miners. And by the way, guys, little trivia for you. It is pronounced S-Crypt, not script. It's S-Crypt, like cryptography. S-Crypt. Weird. Anyway. I know it's dumb. It's like GIF versus GIF. Don't pay me no mind. I've got plenty of trivia like that. It's inherently meaningless, but I'll bring it up anyway because it's a variety show and we're live. So got to fill some time while I do this little calculation here. And just going to bust open the handy dandy Windows calculator app, which honestly, the Windows, like they're sort of like material style from Windows 8 forward. It's really not the worst thing to look at. It's actually kind of okay. Brand Central is asking, anybody mining a AGAM coin? I'm sorry, Brand, I'm dyslexic. I don't know what that means. So let's divide 1,000 by 0.35, and we're going to get this many coins. How many? This many. Going to select all, copy, and in the quantity, paste. So now we've got exactly $1,000 that went into the portfolio on that date. Fees and notes we're not going to include here. We're going to pretend like we live in a perfect world. It's like a physics simulation, right? We're doing high school physics, right? Now imagine being in a world without friction or heat. And now we're going to run this simulation. It's not how it works, right? Ever in real life. But we'll pretend like in real life we can get these coins with no fees. Sure. And let's buy those coins. Oh, if only actually buying coins were literally that easy. It's totally not. But now, see, we've got some history. It automatically puts it into the stacked ranking and shows us how badly we would get punched in the face if we had bought Doge at the same time that we bought Zcash. Clearly, we would have been punched 11% more in the face by holding Doge instead of holding Zcash. So there's your answer. Let's do the same for Litecoin, and we'll pop this little dialog open, jump back in time here with Litecoin. Satoshi H. Nakamoto. We gotta do a show where I do nothing but impressions and exclamations. Seriously, we're Doge Lord and I do nothing but impressions and exclamations. And then we gotta get somebody else on the show who's like a legit like impersonator, like the Tom Cruise impersonator guy, and pretend like we're having a conversation about cryptocurrency, but really all we're doing is just regurgitating like TV garbage. I kid. I could never do that. I would never be able to show my face again. But it'd be fun for like 5 minutes, right? So here we are on the Litecoin chart, jumping back 90 days. Take a look at May 26th. May 26th. Reveal your secrets. 198. Oh no, there was quite a bit of action there on the 26th. It had a low. It looks like a below 190. Yikes, 183. See, we could have done like killer on the buying side on the 26th, or we could have done just a little worse on the 26th. And that's what's so difficult about this. But let's stay consistent. Look a little later in the afternoon and go to a 30-day view, but just scroll back in time. Okay, what do we got? Nope. Look at my kids are wrestling and growling at each other. It's so great. I love having teenagers. Seriously. So Son of a Tech, you're gonna love it when your kids are teenagers and they're like old enough to like literally punch you in the face and have autism. It's amazing. It's amazing. And punch each other in the face and punch the neighbor kids in the face and punch the dog in the face because they have autism and they don't know not to punch a dog in the face. Oh, all right. May. I'm probably doing this the hard way, which is awesome. 26th. Yay, we did it. Okay, 26th, later in the afternoon. Nope, there we go. Nope, 17, right there. So 194-ish. Okay. 194.55, we'll just say right there. And yep, Brand Central says, hope it's not a pit bull as far as that breed. Guys, and people wonder why there's sometimes popular support for breed bans. And it does have to do with the fact that some breeds are literally born and bred to kill when it comes to other animals and creatures that don't understand. For me, I'm kind of a humanist. I'm here for the people. I love dogs. I do. I've become a dog person at this stage of life. But if I had to choose, I'd spend time around the people, not just the dogs. So you make me choose between a pit bull and my kiddo. Sorry, your pit bull's going down. So, alrighty. $1,000 in divided by 194.55. And that's the total amount that we need to put in the portfolio. Just a little over 5.14. It's like pi, but with a 5. So, submit. And now, all right, Son of a Tech, he pushes back and says, I have had a lot of pit bulls. I think it's a misconception personally, owner over breed. You know, I think that's largely the case. There are a lot of owners that are very responsible. But I'm just going to say also, having lived in Miami for a while, the way I did, far too many people who thought that their dog was trained, they were just not. So to your point, it's true. It holds true. A lot of owners that probably needed to be put down, not their dogs. But because of their neglect and their inaction, a lot of kids were hurt. A lot of kids were attacked. A lot of people were not mortally wounded, but like very seriously wounded by pit bulls that were not properly taken care of. And I'm not talking about like trading them or like putting them in a cage or being cruel or whatever, but like they didn't have any clue at all. So there's some bad stuff. Yep. So like he's saying, he had to shoot a few pit bulls that killed goats. As you know, any animal, like shepherd animals too, like if they get a taste for blood on the livestock, well, yeah, what else can you do? There's literally nothing. It's just nature making the choice for you. So anyway, yeah, is what it is. Yeah, agree with you there. So now we've got those two in our portfolio. We see, dudes. Gosh. So we've got those two in the portfolio. We see Litecoin a little bit higher towards the middle, right there towards Pirate Chain, but not really doing all that much better. It's down 30%. These two, if you're merge mining Litecoin and Dogecoin, Cryptid Youth says, sorry, don't ban me. It's okay. It's okay. Really, it's okay. Casual mining and Cryptid Youth, we're not going to ban you for, like, I'm not going to ban you for some like difference in personal opinion. Frankly, you could tell me that I'm full of it with all the stuff that I'm talking to you about here on the charts too. I've got my thick skin on for when I do this. Been doing this for a little while, just a little while. But yeah, when you make fun of immutable characteristics, like you say I'm ugly or whatever, what do you say to that? What can I say to that, right? That's the point at which I'm like, okay, banhammer. You can't keep that up and like run a show, whatever. But so Dogecoin and Litecoin are on the list now. Huzzah! We did it. And we can add others too using that same method. Can I get your guys' requests here? We got a great number of people showing into the live comments tonight. Let me know, what kind of coins would you like me to add to the portfolios? While we're doing this, let's right some wrongs. What CPU mineable coins should be in the list? What mineable coin or GPU mineable coins should be in the list? I think we're actually missing Ergo, which I was surprised by. And I'm kind of bummed about now. I mean, I think we're literally... Nope, there it is. Ergo is there. Nope, fourth from the bottom. But so Mark Allen is asking a question. Merge mine. Merge mining means that whatever the hardware is that you're mining with, a CPU, a GPU, an ASIC, whatever, means that just with the one hash rate that it's contributing to a pool, it's contributing that hash rate to two different coins at the same time. So it's pretty darn cool. Like if you have an ASIC that mines Litecoin, it will mine Dogecoin at no additional cost to you. No additional cost to operate. You just have to mine to a pool that supports both. That's it. It's really that simple. And within the crypto note scene early on with Bitcoin and other coins like Monero, it was discussed very early on, the possibility of merge mining. And I believe Satoshi mentioned merge mining at some point. Don't quote me. I have to take a look at the essential Satoshi from the Nakamoto Institute or whatever, and like grep or whatever, like try to find that in the text of what Satoshi wrote. But I want to say this concept has been around for a while, quite a while, right? Quite a while. And Dogecoin, when it launched, they were like, you know what? As soon as they could, they were like, you know what? We're going to try to merge mine with Litecoin, because, you know, we're a joke anyway. So we'll basically be giving away for free to people who are already mining Litecoin legitimately. Like people who actually have an interest in mining Litecoin, we'll give away, like, because whatever, we have infinite emissions and this super aggressive inflation schedule on Dogecoin. For them, it was a joke anyway, right? Jackson Palmer, the guy that made Dogecoin, it was a giant joke. The guy's literally, like, he's still a self-professed Marxist. He doesn't care about whether or not it conforms, like, extremely to modern monetary theory or not. He doesn't care about the financials of Doge at all. So he was like, whatever, we'll just let it, you know, people who are mining Litecoin, we'll just give them like a ton of them. So yeah, there you go. Seeing a couple of requests for 0xBTC. So 0x Bitcoin coming through the live comments from both Sam and Crypto Mikkel. Cool, we'll do it. And we'll, that's, you know, the last time I checked though, 0x was an FPGA mineable coin, right? What hardware profile do you guys want me to add it to? We'd have to create, I think, a separate portfolio just for FPGAs if it's still strictly an FPGA mineable coin. So Francisco Portas says is about people's feelings and whales. And Mark Allen, hey, you're welcome. He says, thank you. Interesting. Yeah, you're welcome. Here's the thing. This is a term that we sometimes throw around like as though people are just going to get it, but it's not super common, right? Merge mining. It'd be really cool if more coins were merge mined, right? Like, for example, Bitcoin and RSK. RSK is a network that's supposed to, it's called Rootstock, supposed to be a smart contract layer that works with Bitcoin, and it's merge mined. So the RSK token, if you're mining Bitcoin, you should, hypothetically, be able to receive RSK. So yeah, it exists out there in the wild. It's not as popular as I think it should be. I think more coins should accept merge mining. Several like large or mid-cap coins, if they just said like, oh yeah, we're all going to SHA-256 because Bitcoin has the most miners all throughout the world, it would be interesting, right? The issue with SHA-256 in particular in Bitcoin mining is that a lot of coins say they're going to do that and then nobody opts in, and then the hash rate for those coins stays really low, so then the 51% attack happens anyway, even though they were trying to make it merge mineable. Heart of America FPV says, I'm watching from the beginning, but my residential rate in Missouri is 5.38 cents after the first 750 kilowatt hours 8 months out of the year. Yes, you, sir, are on a, or ma'am, are on a seasonal schedule. Totally common for most utilities to give you a seasonal schedule. And when you're doing your calculations, when you're roughing out that math into some kind of a spreadsheet or a calculator, you're going to have to use both seasons for the year. Generally speaking, for you, 8 months out of the year, you get that rate. So clearly the other 4 months, you get a different rate. So you're going to have to run calculations on both and then do your averages that way, right? Weight the amount that you're spending for each side of the year. Again, guys, this is kind of like, this is the episode where I basically, I pull back the curtain, right? Like the Wizard of Oz, and say like, haha, this is part of this is kind of what I do for clients, right? Like it's a little more in depth than this. In some cases, it's a lot more in depth than this. But to put it simply, run the numbers, right? Like we all have to do this anyway, but run the numbers the way you have to. Heart of America goes on to say the other 4 months, it's like 11.8 cents per kilowatt hour flat. That is rough. That is rough for them to tease you with 5.38 cents per kilowatt hour for 8 months and then stick you for almost 12, like double it. Ouch. That's really rough. Anyway, so let's go ahead and make an FPGA portfolio here. And guys, that's simple too. The way we can do that is create portfolio. And we're going to call it FPGA. Create. Done. Now we're going to jump into our FPGA portfolio. Nothing here, right? We got to add a coin. So let's pop that in there. Hey, Kyle says, play it forward. And just did a super chat of $20. Thank you so much, Kyle. Appreciate you. So here we are. 0x Bitcoin with the ticker symbol 0x BTC. And that's in our FPGA portfolio. Guys, we got a brand new portfolio. Since we're doing this live, I kind of feel like we need to fill it with more FPGA coins because it's going to be awful lonely in that FPGA portfolio with just 0x Bitcoin. What else do we put in here, guys? Tell me. What do we put in the FPGA mineable side of this portfolio? Let me know what you think and just spitball, right? Like throw anything at me right now. We'll start adding some more stuff. But in the meantime, May 26th is apparently our target, right? In the afternoon, 5-ish p.m. in the afternoon. So we're going to open up that chart over here where we had Litecoin, 0x BTC. And we are going to go to our 14-day. And we're going to go go to the 20th. What? That's not very nice. That's not very ladylike. Okay. The 27th there. All right. Sam is saying NIM, please. Thank you. All right, cool. We'll add that too. Glad NIM. So here we are on the 26th of May. That's, nope, middle of the night. Let's go all the way to the evening or afternoon. And there we are at about 5:30, and the price was $1.03 for 0x Bitcoin. And Zen, okay, Cryptid Youth, Zen is an ASIC mineable coin right now, and it is available in the ASIC portfolio, so it's there. But guys, let's continue with any of the FPGA mineable coins. But $1.03. Let's hit that plus button here. Nice. Yep, there we go. Cadena. It's Tribus, isn't it? And then, Handshake and Digibyte. Great. And Nimic as well. Awesome. Okay, so we're going to go ahead. Wow, that dropped quite a bit. But we're going to acquire this at $1.03. Crypto Mikkel says, those are the only coins I got for you publicly. Privately, he's got some moonshots, guys. Mikkel is holding out on you. Go give him grief on DCA Adventure for holding out on you on this channel. But I get it, guys. We can only show so many coins here. Like in my little gems folder there too. Guys, there's only so many that I can talk about publicly as well, because it comes across as some kind of endorsement, and it comes across as some kind of like whatever, some kind of like paid shill or something. There's a balance there, right? I do paid reviews. I do sponsored reviews occasionally, and as you know, I always mark them as sponsored. I always mark them as sponsored content, let you know that there's something being advertised. But there's a balance, right? As far as us producing content, a lot of the time, it's a tricky thing. It's a fine line. And we've seen good dudes in the space like Serpent get their channel shut down for less, right? For far less. So got to be a little bit careful about how you represent projects that you're interested in versus what you're working on versus what you might be spending your own money on, whatever. So, all right, that's $1.03. Oh, let's not multiply it. Good grief. $1.03. Because we want that exact amount to be $1,000, guys. That is, right, almost. 26th at 5:30 p.m. We just want to represent exactly when we picked it up. So there we go. It's down 55.15%. It's down bad. Not going to lie. It's hurt. Let's add some other coins here, guys. If you're just tuning in, thanks so much for being here with us. We're creating a portfolio, a coin tracking portfolio inside of CoinGecko, which is a free service, right? I'm not paid to mention this. There's not like an affiliate link or whatever for me to offer to you. It's just CoinGecko offering a free service, and CoinGecko it's pretty good. It's not perfect, right? But it's one of the best things we have. It's built into the Electrum wallet, for crying out loud, to monitor the price of Bitcoin real time for Bitcoin users using the Lite wallet, Electrum, on the desktop. So it's quite good. It's quite good as coin tracking platforms go. So, Nyom. There it is. Nimic. Sorry, I said it wrong. Nimic. It says Nimic. Handshake. Get over here. What else we got? Cadena. Cadena is a funny name, right? Because it's in Spanish, that pronunciation literally means chain. Cadena. Just funny. Funny. It's normally lost on most people because not everybody in crypto speaks Spanish, right? So, Telor. There you go. Come here, Telor. And boop. What else we got here? Digibyte. Alrighty, Barry Merritt says in the comments, the live comments, it's not just the cost of GPUs. I've spent thousands in hardware such as PDUs, right? So power distribution units, L3 switches, KVMs, cables, power supplies, surge protectors, smart power meters, etc., etc. Yeah, the list does go on, right? Like you're saying, I mean, even like beyond PDUs, depending on the location that you set up at, you might want to have power distribution whips that then feed your PDUs because you don't want to have to step down from the 3-phase power depending on the facility that you're at, right? Like it's an entirely different game if you go to a warehouse, right? You may only have dual phase power. Maybe you have 3-phase power. Maybe you're just stepping down entirely to 208 volt for the entire place. Francisco asks a relevant question and says, sorry, but what is an FPGA? An FPGA, that's an acronym that stands for Field Programmable Gate Array. And it's a type of hardware that's very similar in terms of its flexibility and power to maybe a GPU. It's a little bit more strict in terms of the kind of software environment you need to put it into than a GPU. See, a GPU, you can just download drivers from AMD or NVIDIA. An FPGA, you need to download drivers from the manufacturer. Then you need to download what's called a custom bit stream. And that bit stream literally tells the FPGA how to be, like how the different logic channels and logic gates inside of the silicon, how they're going to form different, create different formations in order to run. Without that bit stream, it doesn't really do anything. And those custom bit streams, they tend to enable the hashing algorithm that you want, and then you need to run third-party mining software. In the same way that you might just run like T-Rex Miner on Windows for your NVIDIA graphics card, right? So the NVIDIA graphics card, you just download T-Rex Miner, you set up your mining operations inside of a little batch like start file, you click it, and it starts running, right? Because the drivers recognize what the GPU is and what it does. The FPGA needs that little bit of middleware in between, that little bit of software in between that tells it exactly what it's supposed to do, and that's called a bit stream. So it's made significantly more complex by that one missing piece there. Outside of it, though, not any more complex than like installing or running any other kind of hardware for the most part. It's not super complex. Sam is commenting and saying it's reprogrammable, uses bit streams, downside is expensive, and there are cooling issues, and then there's complexity. That's the other problem, is that bit stream that tells it how to be, tells it what it's supposed to do when it's powered on and stuff, and when it's recognized by the host system. That's the other thing, is that it doesn't run alone. It doesn't run on its own standalone the way that just say like a GP, not a GP, but the way an ASIC would. It runs maybe a little bit more like a GPU, and in that it needs to be run by a host system, but not in the PCI Express bus. So it's typically run over USB, or that's where the data is being transferred, is over USB, but it can receive power, right? So. Casual mining. He's got a banger for more Back to the Future memes here. Mining memes. Says if Doc Brown had typed 1559 instead of 1955, he would have gotten stuck in the ether. That's rad. Sam says, I use CVP13. Phenomenal card. Very high performance. Yeah, Francisco, thank you. He says, thanks. Haha. There's more to it, right? It's a pretty deep pursuit, but at the end of the day, and it'll take you like a full day or two, maybe a full week to get really, really comfortable with it. It's like any other piece of hardware that you have to make do mining. The issue with bit streams is that if they're configured incorrectly, and then if the mining parameters are configured incorrectly on an FPGA, because it only knows to do exactly what you tell it, it doesn't have like driver protection for overheating. It's not like with a GPU where inside of the driver or inside of say, like, gosh darn it, MSI Afterburner, right? You can just tell it like, hey, you should really only use this much power. Your fan should kick in at this time. If you get to this temperature, your fan should, move according to this curve, and it should kick in even higher. And, if you really, really start to get hot, go ahead and give yourself full 100% of fan power. That'll cool you down. You'll feel great, right? And then, even still, if your GPU goes over, say, like 80 degrees Celsius, it's just going to shut down. Right. Or at some point it'll shut down before it literally burns itself out. FPGAs don't do that. FPGAs can literally cause a house fire. They can absolutely run the voltage all the way up to whatever your power supply that it's attached to can deliver, light itself on fire, melt the card down, and keep going. FPGAs, that's the one major threat with FPGAs, is that bit of in between, right, with the bit stream. The driver only lets you apply a bit stream. It doesn't tell the host system how to treat the FPGA. The bit stream does that. So it's pretty intense, right? Like I've had a scare with FPGAs. I think like anybody who's used an FPGA has had a scare with an FPGA. That's just how it goes. They're like they can be very finicky if you're not really careful and you don't follow instructions very, very closely, or just call in a pro to create custom bit streams for you. A lot of not mid-scale mining operations, but larger scale mining operations that want to use FPGAs, they wind up having to get their own bit streams written custom. And like Mikkel is saying, Mikkel's deep in that space. Again, don't let him fool you, man. He rolls with some people who are next level. So yeah, you want to know people who know how to write bit streams. Zotrak, and that's why FPGAs are awesome. Literal fire. So yeah. Francisco says you have to be really into it to use an FPGA. That's about right. Yeah, that's about right. If you're not super into it, if you're not willing to invest the time or the money into somebody else who's going to manage it for you, then you're going to struggle and you're going to feel like, okay, I want to get rid of this thing. Where can I resell it? So some Goblin Losers signing off says, have a good night, everyone. Much love. Keep on keeping on. Gonna go make a late supper, then go get wrapped up in Halo Reach again. Nice. And Crypto Mikkel says about FPGAs, it's a love all of its own. Totally agree. Some people get super into programming all kinds of stuff, right? Like automation software. Some people get really big into like the Raspberry Pi scene and single board computers. And then when you're into mining, there are some people who just like love punishment and they get super into FPGAs. So yeah, to each their own. I don't judge, but it is very tricky. So here we are on some of the FPGA mineable coins. Digibyte is right here. Let's go ahead and start backfilling this, guys. And we're going a little bit longer than we might normally for one of these shows. No, significantly longer, actually. I apologize, guys. We're going quite a bit longer. So part tutorial here. Can I just ask you guys, do you want me to fill this out and then bring it back to you tomorrow night? Because I'm happy to do that off stream and we get to some of our other charts and we close out the show. We're going a little later than I normally like to. I'm not sure if anybody else in the GPU mining scene is streaming right now, but I don't want to hold you hostage either. You guys let me know. Thinking maybe we do. Just skip ahead and I'll add this stuff for tomorrow night's stream. I'll be back. You'll be back. We can keep the conversation going then. Sound fair? Okay. So, because I see we've all definitely lost some folks too who were like, man, he's just putting numbers in a spreadsheet. Cheated. All I got was these lame Back to the Future memes about like maybe making t-shirts that I'm not going to buy anyway. Why did I even show up? All right. So yeah, now everybody's like, oh yeah, no rush. You can do this. Like, you know what? If we're all here, we're still having a conversation. But if the vibe is good, I'm kind of a serial like vibe denier. I'm not super good at this thing, right? I swear I was somewhere on the autism spectrum or had like massive ADHD when I was a kid. Man, I don't know. I really don't know. So you guys let me know. If the vibe is good, if the stream is good, then gosh darn it, let's power through. Okay, so we're here adding Digibyte to the portfolio. That means that over on this side, I've got to look up Digibyte. So that's Simone Biles and the Olympic women's gymnastics team, huh? How about it? How about it? She was our great hope, and she dropped out. All right. So 4 cents. We're going to scroll all the way down to the chart. We're going to tell it our date, the 26th. Actually, I'm going to do the day before. And nope, come here now. End date. We'll just say 27th. It's fine. Now we can see with much more precision on the 26th in the afternoon. All right. Looks like it was 7.8456 cents. 7.8456. All right. And now we put in $1,000 and we divide it by 0.078456. Yeah. Funny thing is, I who doesn't like making fun of the Germans? I don't, I haven't met a person yet because they're great people, fun loving with perfect senses of humor. But realistically, kind of funny. My wife always jokes with me that I was probably like stolen from a crib somewhere in Berlin. All right, submit. Francisco is saying it's going on almost midnight in Argentina. Zotrack says, I thought I was in Switzerland for a second. Yeah, me too. Me too. I was so convincing to myself. All right, Handshake, which is kicking butt taking names. Apparently great project in the namespace scene in cryptocurrency, which I'm not the biggest believer in. I'm just going to say point blank, but it's hard to argue with profits, right? We're profit maximalists first. If it's making you money on your mining rigs, why wouldn't you mine it, right? Of course, right. Okay, so looking back in time at the historical price for May 26th. And going back to May 27th as the interval there, 2 days. So the 26th, 33, 74.88. And going back to May 26th at 5:30-ish. It was actually 5:41 when that went in. So I'll try to keep that accurate to when it was actually acquired. And that gives us our handshake entry. Still got Telor, Cadena, and Nimic to do. I'm going to start with Telor, top of the list. And guys, tell me, what are you doing tonight? What's good? What is good for you on a Tuesday night? What do you have going on in your neck of the woods? What are you guys mining? What's exciting for you right now? All right. Oh, hey, recent contract migration. That's interesting. That can't be all that new, but it's always nice that it's listed here on CoinGecko. I like that. With a link to the Medium article describing when it was going to happen and what the details are. And what do we got here? Oof. This is perfect. Francisco is watching the Olympics. What's your event, Francisco? What are you excited about? Other than like skateboarding, right? Like when did the X Games become the Olympics? That was a shock to me. I mean, I know I'm sure it's already happened for a little while, guys. Really, forgive me. I've been like living under a rock, but like a full street course at the Olympics with people on skateboards without helmets. I didn't expect that when I tuned in. But that's a thing. That's an Olympic sport. That's a worldwide Olympic sport in the Olympics, not the X Games. I'm just a little bit surprised is all. Sam says, I was watching Wrath of Man. Brand Central saying, I was having some super high gas fees earlier. Here's the thing. Have you tried eating some dry toast? Brand Central. That winds up decreasing the gas fees. $71.40. Okay. Oh, that's, yeah. Find that by Son of a Tech says, looks like you cracked 10,000 subs, by the way. Congrats. Hey, I appreciate that. Yes. On this channel, we did crack 10,000 subs. Guys, thank you for the reminder. Also, I've got right here, down off to the side, this really cool, well, I think it's a really cool design. In the eye of the beholder, right? Really cool design for a Bitcoin full node, Raspberry Pi Bitcoin full node that uses a case that is low profile, has active cooling. I mean, this one does not have the fan in place, but it has the heat sinks in place, active cooling, and then mounts directly to a 2.5-inch drive, SSD or hard drive. So you've got everything completely combined together. And then if you use a SATA adapter like this, the cable just pulls back around and feeds all in one little place. It's all compact. I think what I want to do is give one of these bad boys away. Hardware, topper, and we'll do a special edition that just says, Mind Your Biz, 10K subs. What do you think? Maybe not tonight, but let's do that in the near future. I want to give one of those away. I'm feeling a giveaway. Really appreciate you guys helping me get to this point. It's the least I can do, and it's a cool full node design. So if you want to run a Bitcoin full node, if you want to run a Monero full node, if you want to run like whatever, some kind of like other home server or home lab type thing, you can. And you have something to remember me by when you run your little single board computer, whatever, your Raspberry Pi or your Rock 64 or whatever. So anyway, I'd like to do that. Not tonight. We'll do that at another time, but maybe tomorrow night, let's do that. Let's kick off the show with that. And I apologize. I totally it didn't feel real yet, Son of a Tech. You made it real again. Yeah, that's right. We live in a world where this channel has more than 10,000 subs. Thank you. So let me jump out of the way here. Get this guy in place. Son of a Tech says, Mind Your Biz, what platform would you use for physical NFT? Gosh darn it. That's a great question. That's a really great question, because I know that Shopify right now, they got some tie-ins for NFT payments. I want to say that there's a third-party plugin that allows you to directly offer NFTs using Shopify as the e-commerce solution, where you accept fiat payments and then you register it, which is like kind of silly, right? But it does have a proper. It does register a proper entry into like some third-party blockchain. And I'm at a loss for what that is right now. But that's the easiest, right? Definitely the easiest, because you can totally accept PayPal. And then it's like the best of both worlds, right? You can accept PayPal, give somebody a digital asset that is provably unique, to which they hold the private keys, right? And all that. So without looking further into it or even validating that what I just said is true, that would be what I'm inclined to try, because it's easy. But I think probably I already have some stuff on Rarible, right? And OpenSea. So Crypto Mikkel is saying OpenSea. I'm already on OpenSea. I already have some stuff that I've tried out on OpenSea. I didn't know that you could actually have like a physical NFT that's a component of it, because you still have to take delivery. Like the person has to take delivery of it and register for that. And I don't know that I'd want OpenSea to have that info. So I think if anything, what I would probably do is I'd probably offer on like my payment gateway, if I were selling it, I'd probably offer. I'd probably offer some kind of tokenized, like I'd sell it there. Gosh darn it. I would rather make it redeemable for something that OpenSea has. So attached to the NFT be some kind of a coupon code that could be used in my store, if that makes more sense. I had to think through that just really briefly, kind of like on a tangent right now, but yeah, that's what I think I'd do. Probably OpenSea and then my own payment gateway in my own merch system. I wouldn't want to trust third parties with the last mile of delivery, just because that's kind of my thing, right? I don't want people to have to KYC everywhere or dox themselves to yet another platform. So just kind of my thinking on the matter. Okay, so Telor is in the portfolio. Crypto Mikkel was saying the Shopify thing is cool. Yeah, I think it probably is. I think it's going to solve a lot of problems for creators that want to just like list stuff and not deal for their side, not deal with all the other stuff, because you can use the coinpayments.net plugin on Shopify if you want to. There's several other payment plugins, right? Like whatever, BitPay and whatever else. So even if you did want to accept like Bitcoin or other cryptocurrencies, you could. And with the Shopify plugin, it still helps all that other stuff. Zotrak is queuing us in that we are nearly at 40K on Bitcoin. Let me pop open our chart, guys. We got our chopsticks. Oh, yep, it ran away from our chopstick target. No ramen for you. Haha. Didn't see that one coming, did you? Yep, and we have this giant impacted colon of a Bollinger Band here, right with a little sphincter at the end. It's like, which way do I go? Whoa, help me. I'm all backed up. But it's breaking to the upside, clearly. Wicking up. And no, is that a reversal? Too soon to know, I think. But 39.9. 39.9. Good grief. The height of indecision. Bitcoin, make up your gosh darn mind. Sorry, that's way over there. Make up your gosh darn mind, Bitcoin. Do it. Do it. Do it. Break 40,000. Oh, come on. Come on. It's like your mom saying, we've got 40,000 at home. This is what your 40,000 at home looks like. Stop it, Mom. Stop. Okay. Oh, that's weird. Real News 2020. Do it now. Get to the chopper. Bitcoin. Do it. Come on, kill me. Come on, kill me. I'm here. 40,000. You can do it. Jeez. Louise. All right, so back to our FPGA portfolio. We'll, no, you know what? Let's pull up the chart really fast. We got it open. Take a look at the volume, though, down here, and that is a little bit less convincing, right? Last time we wicked up to 40K, or first time we wicked up to 40K, look at all that volume. We are at less than half the volume. Less than half the volume. We're not even a quarter of the volume right now on this move up. Barely a quarter of the volume on that candlestick up to almost 40K. Again, without guys, this is not the part where I say oh yes, my technical analysis, all of my indicators and my technical analysis leads me to the following conclusion. And here's your entry point. You should buy or you should sell. Who knows, right? Not me. Just straight up, I don't. But I do know that volume matters. I know that much. Volume matters. Movements in price without volume are apparently to be treated with suspicion. Because if people really believed in the price, they put their money where their mouth is, right? And there would be more trading volume. Doesn't matter on either side, the buying side or the selling side, there'd be more volume, higher volume, money moving through that price. So yeah, it just kind of it doesn't quite look right to me. Anyway, but that said, with all that expertise I have in technical analysis, I'm standing by the chopsticks. Ramen for everyone. At 38.4. Ramen for everyone at 38.4. There will be ramen. There will be volume and ramen for everyone at the point where the chopsticks intersect. When they snap, ramen will be there. Okay. Back to the portfolio, guys. Something we can actually wrap our arms around and kind of control. So looking, we got the Telor in place now. Now we're going to add Cadena. And guys, this is why, by the way, I like being around GPU miners and around people who are convinced that proof of work actually matters, because we know that there are known knowns, there are known unknowns, then there are unknown unknowns. And I don't really know like if there can actually be like unknown knowns other than literally just stuff you forget. I think that's the definition of unknown knowns, right? Stuff that you should have been aware of, but you just forgot somehow, or it was not apparent at first, but you could have seen it coming. We've got all these different quadrants, right? And technical analysis and trying to trade price is very much in that gray zone of unknowns, right? Known and otherwise, right? Of unknowns, where it's like, according to my charts, the price will definitely do this until JP Morgan Chase gets involved, or until Facebook gets involved, or until somebody wakes up on the wrong side of the bed in China and sells all the mining equipment everywhere, right? Like there's so much we can't control. And in mining, it's like, okay, well, today, are we still profitable? For this last week, are we profitable? Can we, by the averages and looking at probabilities, can we figure out whether or not it makes sense to mine for one more day and take one more payout? Yeah, we can do that. We can control that. That's doable. And then if you get out of profitability, it's like, well, what do I have? You're not just left like with whatever, with your proverbial privates in your hands. Sorry to be so, gross there, whatever. Like you got hardware, right? Sorry. You got other hardware. Woo. After hours streaming here, guys. All right. So you got GPUs, CPUs, ASICs, FPGAs, what have you. You got that stuff. You can sell it if you had to, right? Your risk is decreased. You've hedged your bets. So it's not like in Bitcoin where it's like, I went all in on this one bet, like options trading, right? Where it's like, I went all in. Did you get liquidated? Yeah. Are you eating ramen now? No, I can't afford the chopsticks. Ha! Should have followed the chopsticks. You should have followed them. You wouldn't have gotten wrecked. I'm just kidding. You should probably just mine instead. Not advice. But that's why I like this, guys. If you're new to the channel, or if you're just tuning in, like, what is wrong? This boy could legally be retarded. That's what's wrong. That's what's wrong. This is how we handle risk. We try to do things that we can actually somewhat control. Welcome to the edge. Welcome to the gates of autism. So 26th of May at 8:21. Kyle says miners see markets different than traders. 100% they do. 100% they do. I remember talking to somebody who said, like, you know what? We should we're going to get it trending. We're going to get it trending over the chopsticks meme. I hope so, guys. Really? It would be lovely to have, chopsticks all over crypto Twitter. Like, what is the chopsticks indicator? Should I be learning this instead of Elliott waves? Instead of Elliott wave theory? Oh my gosh! Like, what if my Fibonacci retracement levels are off? What if the 0.38 level is telling me falsehoods? I need to get these chopsticks. Where do I get chopsticks? So 639376. We're putting in for the price. Oh, shoot. I actually was looking at 830. I'm going to leave that alone. And we're putting in $1,000. We're dividing it by our acquisition price. Oop. We've got a little over 1,500 of these coins. Boom, for an even $1,000 back in the portfolio. And it's not doing bad. It's starting to take shape here, guys. Digibyte is the clear winner in our brand newly minted FPGA portfolio. Yes, me likey. It's good stuff. I'm not gonna lie. I appreciate that you guys asked me to do this one live and kind of get this thing shaped up. You see how it's not rocket science, this stuff, right? It's easy enough. And you can add your own private portfolio, do your own thing, right, with your own coins that you're mining. And if you're not comfortable letting CoinGecko know what your holdings are, you can always register with a pseudonymous or like burner email, make a bogus account if you want to. I don't think that CoinGecko, they provided a lot of value, but I don't think that you owe them your personal information. If you want to use a burner email, do that instead. If you're really nervous about privacy, do that. make a portfolio like this, have it tracked. It's easy. Runs on the mobile app too, so you'll see it on your phone and you'll get alerts. If you want to, you can set those on your phone, have a stronger idea of what's happening to your portfolio. So that's why I'm using this instead of the spreadsheets, guys. I can do it. I've got content lined up for it. It's going to take an afternoon, full afternoon to do the same thing. But here, this is so much easier. And historical data, we've got it all right here. We can do entries from a time from way back. If we wanted to do like the whole like, hey, if you bought whatever, $30 worth of Bitcoin back in 2011, we can do that, obviously, based on the price, the acquisition price of Bitcoin. And we can add that transaction right here to just show you like, hey, if we're an old school Bitcoin whale, here's how your life would look. Or Ethereum too. Or Ravencoin, more relevant, right? More recently. Ravencoin, people who got in very, very early with Ravencoin and are, whatever, Ravencoin millionaires. We can share that. So, all right, time for Nimik. The inimitable, mystical mystique of Nimik. Come here, Nim. Avi Nash, hello. Thank you for saying howdy in the comments section. Appreciate you being here with us tonight. And Nimik is, wow, doing quite well actually tonight. Up almost 10%. Dang. Fucking booty. Taking namies. And what do we got here? Oof. Alrighty. Random question. So I'm going to ask, for private outreach after the fact, can ask anybody in our GPU mining content family. I literally just got a request right now. If I can get somebody who I know in touch with Tyler from Chico Crypto. Don't know him, not personally, but if you do, request comes through a warm, friendly channel. At least somebody wants to have him on for a collab. I don't know if he does those these days, but if you know him, let him know that he's wanted, right? He's not a social outcast or whatever. People want to see him on other shows too. Alrighty, right time of day. Oh no, I was way off. That is 5 o'clock. I had it wrong. So 5:11. I want to talk about that 6. Oh my gosh, I promise I can read 24-hour time. I'm just a little bit tired. Sorry, guys. So that's our price. 6.8, 15.80. And our very last entry into this portfolio, guys. Thanks so much for your patience. I really appreciate you kind of being on board while we go through the calculations. They take a little more time, as you see, just a little bit. But I think it's worth it in the end to do this for yourself with your portfolios, just so you see how things are moving. And this is how we've structured the evening show for 2 months now, right? Since we made this portfolio, or a little more than 2 months now. We've been able to track the performance of these coins, and it's helped, right? It's helped significantly to see, like, where is there a winner? Where is there a loser? Like, instead of us choosing them, right? I'm not trying to pick winners. I'm trying to follow data to make better choices, right? A data-driven life, a data-driven business, it makes logical sense, right? It should yield better results. It should, if it's data-driven, these decisions. Trying to follow, like, find the truth in the data, interpret it wisely. It should yield better results. So I think this is important. So dividing our acquisition price, 6.8, 15.80. And yeah, that's in terms of unit bias. I love seeing we got over 140,000 of those. It's always fun. I kid. I don't really, guys. I really don't. I try not to fall prey to the logical fallacy of unit bias. It's like saying, like, oh, well, 1 Bitcoin equals 1 Bitcoin. And if you don't have 1 Bitcoin, you're going to fall behind when the entire world goes to hyper-Bitcoinization and every single participant in the planet wants 1 full Bitcoin. It's like, dude, okay, right. How many billions of people? 21 million Bitcoin? 4.5 million of them lost. Already nearing 19 million of them total, like, mined in total. Like, now we're nearly almost there. You don't really need 1 full Bitcoin if hyper-Bitcoinization is a reality in the future. But whatever. In our minds, we want to own 1 full coin, 1 full thing. not saying you shouldn't own multiple Bitcoins. It's pretty cool. Or multiples, right? Like hey, if you got it, do it, right? Absolutely. If you got, especially if you were early in the space, right? If you got 100 Bitcoin or 1,000 Bitcoin, well done. Well done. Okay, here's our FPGA mining portfolio. And this is the part, dear audience, where we get to pretend as though we were doing this the entire time, because our transactions were done on the same date and approximate time, or at least the same afternoon as all of the other coins put into the portfolio. So we've lost nothing by retroactively putting these coins in to see what the performance over time has been. So here we are. 24-hour change in the newly minted FPGA portfolio, $68 in the green. Total P&L, negative 47.17. Biggest winner, Digibyte at, well, it's kind of strange to call the biggest winner negative 43%. All the other portfolios are showing something that is strong enough to be close to the $1,000, like that initial investment parity, right? Not losing from what was initially put in. But in this portfolio, Digibyte dropped by 43%. However, the biggest lose, what the heck am I seeing here? I feel like I'm taking crazy pills. What just happened? How was that P&L totally backwards? I'm going to try one more time. Let's refresh this page, see what it does, because that just looked crazy to me. There we go. That was craziness. Yeah, that was not right at all. Nimic is at the top at negative 35. They're negative 35. It just needed to be refreshed based on that last entry. The most recent purchase that we put into this portfolio wasn't reflective of the end result there. So now that we've got that updated, negative 35% on Nimic, which means that we're not even above $700 after having put $1,000 into it. It hasn't performed particularly well, but here's what miners know that investors don't. You can miss out on 35% of profits if you bought it at only 15% of its value, or if you mined it at only 15% of its value initially, right? You've got 85% of the coin's value to lose before you say, oh no, like I'm actually burned. You got a big buffer zone, right? Yes, you paid for the equipment. Yes, you paid for power. But if you've factored all that in on a schedule as a miner, you're getting everything on discount. Like Bitcoin's on sale every day. Ethereum's on sale every day. Clearly here, Nimic, Digibyte, Teller, Cadena, Handshake, 0x Bitcoin, they're on sale to you every single day because you're mining. So again, like the other portfolios, when we mine and we see $1,000 going into this, seeing a drawdown of 54% way at the bottom here with 0x Bitcoin, a little less sticker shock, right? Sam says, Digibyte eats tons of power. This is the problem with this coin. That's a bummer. I didn't realize that. But the Black Miner F1 Mini even, I think it still mines it profitably. I think it was Handshake that was mining most profitably recently. Sam also says, and the problem with 0x BTC is gas fees. Yes, that's right. It is an ERC20 token, isn't it? So yeah, bummer there. It's kind of funny when there are proof of work mineable ERC20 tokens, which essentially like you're mining for a smart contract. It's kind of weird. Or you're seeing the emissions be acknowledged and paid out on a smart contract. That's always weird to me. It's cool to see proof of Merc. Yeah. Speaking of FPGAs lighting your house on fire, proof of Merc. Yeah. What happened to your FPGA? Oh, it merked my friend. I left it in his basement, burned his house down. He got merked by the Black Miner F1. So yeah, but seeing proof of work on smart contract, like a smart contract substrate or a smart contract layer of some other network, it's always a little bit strange to me, just a little bit. Anyway, so yeah, that's our FPGA mining portfolio in total, down by 47%. Guys, this is so cool. So I think what we're going to be doing moving forward is I'm going to be taking some requests. And thank you so much, guys, for the super chats. Really, that's so awesome. And thank you so much for the encouragement. Thank you so much for bringing me over 10K. I don't think I can thank you guys enough, really. Those are very, very, yeah. Got gratitude, guys. Got the feels. Yeah, big time. Heart is just feeling a little bit swole. That heart muscle. And not literally. No, I'm not having, acute chest pain or anything. Just like feeling the love. Thanks, guys. Appreciate that. So let's jump on out of the way here. Take a look at that chart one more again and take a look at the chopsticks just once more. I'm kind of curious to see what's been happening in a slightly tighter time frame. Let's just look at 30 minutes. I don't want to go any faster than that, guys. Yeah, I get anxiety when I look at really fast time frames on a chart because I don't ever trade that fast. I don't even trade like in the morning and in the afternoon, right? Kyle says, don't get murked. Stay safe. Yes. That's kind of why I'm not doing like any custom FPGAs these days. And Christoph says, he says something to me that I apologize. I don't understand how to pronounce. I don't know how to pronounce that word. Otherwise, I would repeat what you said. But we're seeing, wow, yeah, that pulled back to 36.5. Yikes. Yeah, see, guys, I don't know what to make of this sort of thing. We could try to take some kind of like a trend-based fib extension here and use it on this lower section here, but it seems totally inappropriate. And, well, the volume is kind of growing back up, but it seems totally inappropriate to try to do something that that's this high frequency, that is like focused, it's like so hyper-focused on one side of the chart. Yeah. Real News 2020 is dropping some real knowledge for 2021 down in the comments saying dollar cost average and hold. Honestly, scalping leads to mistakes. 100%. That's like half the reason that I want to look at these charts, is just to show how incredibly difficult this is to pick up with any degree of confidence. Like, how, as a logical, rational person, can you look at this stuff and say, like, you know what? I'm definitely going to make money out of this for sure. Every day, I'm going to make money from this, and I'm going to be able to quit my job, and I'm going to earn bajillions of dollars. Sure, there are folks that do, right? Crypto Cobain is like a phenom, and apparently, I guess PNL. I think Crypto Cobain is no Crypto Dog. I think Crypto Dog is something like 8 figures in the black, like 8 figures up since starting in crypto trading. There are some people who are legitimately phenomenal at this, and like they've paid more in taxes than some of us will ever earn in a lifetime, right? In terms of like, yeah, I had to pay the IRS, like whatever, $20 million. Or in a career, I should say, in an average career. That some of these folks are paying that much in taxes in a given calendar year because they're trading with that much money, and then because they have that much, they're able to apply so much more leverage that it's like, dude, you're trading with sums of money that are reflective of the budgets of some of these small countries, like El Salvador, right? El Salvador giving its $30 airdrop to all of its adult citizens. Some of these traders operate with that kind of a budget, right? Of the El Salvador $30 Bitcoin airdrop. They're trading with that much on their own as one person in some room with like 6 monitors, showing a chart like this, showing a different chart, showing some other volume, showing some news from China, showing some news from some other feed, some other like crypto news aggregator somewhere else. And then they've got a voice or a video chat with their kids, from their wife who's like across the country because they were obviously divorced, because they can't keep their life together, because it's impossible, because you'd have to spend so much freaking time in front of the computer to make it work. Like, these people don't sleep, they don't eat, they live on cocaine. They just like it, they'd have like a brick of it, they just bite it off and chew it like candy. Like, I don't know how you do it. I don't know how you make that lifestyle work. I don't know how you make this make sense to a rational person who says like, who was like, yeah, you know what? That seems like an attractive lifestyle. I want to do this. That's cool. I don't understand it. Yeah, I don't know. And kudos to people who can make it work. Kudos to people who can keep the life balance together, like who can manage a relationship while you're babysitting 6 monitors, right? Dimitri says, ha ha ha, poor crypto face, bro. Yeah, it's dude, right? Yeah, it's something that it takes a very unique person to be able to do that. I don't think it's for everyone, and the people who can do it, they really do have my respect. Like, I don't want to make it sound like I'm creating some caricature of everybody who's ever been successful at trading, but I've read the stories of enough of them, and I've met enough of them that that does reflect the story of a lot of them. So that for me, I'm like, do I want that? No, I don't think I do. Yeah, I don't think I want everything that goes with it, but I do want to learn more about how to make sense of the charts. So obviously, chopsticks. Chopsticks make sense. That's about all I can have make sense from this chart, guys. It would be hilarious though to see my chopstick indicator be a better indicator than what everybody else is like. Nonsense everyone else is drawing over here in the justifications, but just like, okay, cool. I saw a little ascending triangle. We drew chopsticks on it, and bada bing, bada boom. That's the price. So anyway, guys, I think that is just about the full show for today. Again, just a reminder, if you're on Amazon and you feel like picking up one of the t-shirts, we got a few that are really low cost. They're just fun, like this one. You guys will love this one after tonight. But yeah, I made this one a little while ago. It was just for kicks. But yes, it's the mining every shitcoin is hot, or is it psychotic, or is it both? And really like that one. Nicholas says, hey man, first time watching you, loving it. Seen you around on Around the Blockchain. Wanted to check out your channel. Hey, totally appreciate that. Really, thank you so much. Thanks for being here with us tonight. We're just having a blast. We're looking at some charts, just having some fun, taking a look at a portfolio, made a new portfolio together on CoinGecko and kind of figured out how to do that together so we can track our crypto purchases or track our crypto interests more accurately. And we do this every night. Nowadays, we're doing it every night at 5 p.m.-ish, 5 p.m. Pacific time. So, or gosh, what is that? That 5 p.m. GMT -7? There you go. I think that's what it is. So, yeah. But guys, this is one of the shirts that I have on Amazon. That's just fun. This one's really inexpensive. I just wanted to blow it out because it was just like the design was stuck in my head. And I'm like, you know what? I don't even I think I make like $1 on this one. I hardly make anything at all. And I was like, I just have to get the design out of my head. And so it was like this compulsion. I just stayed up and threw it into Amazon. It was like, boom. And have a couple more like that. But also the merch shop at mineyourbiz. We got some new designs there. This one got denied by Amazon. Surprise, surprise. They won't let you upload the likeness of Elon, but my printer will. So we got this one as well of Elon saying, I might pump, but I don't dump. And last but not least, guys, we're going to talk about this one a lot more in the coming days and weeks. Shout out to Crypto Wendio. I think we're going to be doing a special on this. The Freedom Phone. I'm creating a draft for a new rebrand of this phone with an update on the model that we use. So we're going to be moving from the Pixel 3a, which is what we still have in stock, still have a couple units in stock, to one of, or maybe both, of the Pixel 4a and the Pixel 4 XL. Dimitri says, you remind me of the guy from the morning show, but of the crypto. You look bright, brother. I will thought, hey, I appreciate that, man. Thank you. You know, I do what I can. Kids, they take it out of you, but they also keep you young. So here we are. But yeah, guys, this is something we're going to be talking about very, very soon. In case you're new, then this is not referring to the Freedom Phone that's being talked about all over the internet. We had this out on Mind Your Biz a while ago. Nick is asking, did you ever mine Ergo? You know, I never actually wound up mining Ergo. I thought I might when I saw the profitability was higher, and then I looked a little bit more closely into the ecosystem that it goes into and being part of the Cardano ecosystem. I kind of lost faith in its mission. I need to see some more development happen on Cardano. Specifically, I need to see smart contracts shipped in the wild that people are actually using. We're in the middle of DeFi Summer 2.0, and Cardano is absent, right? Like, it's not even warming the bench. It's just like not anywhere to be seen. It's not playing the game, and it's not around. So I'd have to see that to feel a lot more comfortable mining Ergo and feel like it's a mine and hold, right? Other than just cashing out profits on something that it's very where there's higher profitability on Ergo. But that's my response on Ergo for right now. But yeah, guys, check this out as well. It's all available on mineyour.biz. Definitely appreciate you being here. I do need to call it a night, guys. I appreciate you being along for the ride tonight and giving me that feedback. Really, I appreciate it. It means so much. We hit and Son of a Tech coming back to commiserate with the L. He says, oops, spent $25 on minting an NFT. all right. It's all right, man. Welcome to NFTs. I guess everybody has to dump some money into learning. It's tuition, brother. But guys, really appreciate you being here. Thanks for hitting that thumbs up. Thanks for hitting the subscribe button, smashing the bell icon so you know when new media comes out. I love your face. Remember to stay private and mind your biz.
Thank you so much for watching all the way to the end of the video. If you want to be notified of videos like this in the future, first off, click subscribe, press the bell icon. Additionally, you can sign up for the Mind Your Biz email newsletter. That'll give you exclusive access to certain freebies, notifications for deals within the cryptocurrency mining space, as well as some of our flash sales for merchandise, which you can buy with cryptocurrency. That's right. It's the only cryptocurrency merch that you can buy with cryptocurrency. We practice what we preach. As always, thank you so much for watching. You're the reason I make this media. I love your face, and I will see you in the next one.